and it's just in there. Can you see it in the corner?
I can't see it. Oh, hang on.
It's in there somewhere. It itches like hell.
Yeah, how did you lose your keys in there?
I know.
I know when you come down the back of the seat.
You put things down. Oh, hang on a minute. They're here.
Hey? Oh, but where?
Yeah. Good evening, everybody. Yeah, Dr. Fox just helping me out there. A little bit of an issue. Yeah, good evening, everyone. It's a spooktacular edition. Oh, yeah, we're all scared. Don't worry, it's only us.
We'll bring the horror tonight. I'll take my t-shirt off, and that'll scare you all the way.
Yeah, you can play this. You can play this live stream and put the monitor on the top of the mantelpiece and keep the kids away from the fire for at least a good hour.
And no matter which part of the playlist you choose of this live stream, if you play it backwards, it says "Paul is dead. Paul is dead. Paul is dead." Bit of a Beatles joke there, just conspiracy theory. Carry on, Ted. These guys are all too young to remember that.
Yeah, play it back. It's like some status quo record. I think most of them remember that. Yeah. Where were we? I think we were welcoming everybody, weren't we? Usual hello and welcome, and let's see what happens tonight.
Smooth. There's my rubber gloves. Doctor Nows, where's my rubber gloves?
Yeah. Yeah. Snap. Cough. Yeah.
Going away for the weekend, sir.
Right, we've got a few things to get through tonight. We've got 2 prizes that we gave away last week. Don't know if the phone will ring again this week. I'll have to wait and see. You know that. Sorry to interrupt you there.
You know that thing, Ted, when we decide what we're going to show, what's in store, and somebody says something in the chat.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's happened already.
Has it?
But I won't say what it is.
We'll have a look. Yeah, we will have a look at what's in store. It's quite topical as well this evening, so that gives you a bit of a clue what we're going to look at.
That singing voice, isn't it beautiful?
Yeah. I like the t-shirt, Fox. Where did you get that
from?
Oh,
thank you very much. Zaku.
Zaku. Does a Haynes how to take one apart?
Basically what you do is you launch all your missiles at it and it falls apart by itself. It just self-disassembles. They're not very hardy as Zaku. Zaku's are a bit rubbish, but I like them. They're like Russian tanks. They're a bit crap. There's lots of them. Yeah. And of course, someday soon. You know I'm going with that one, don't you, Ted? Hey.
We all know what we're talking about. If you're watching last week, you know the good news that came out last week. If you don't know what was said last week, just ask somebody next to you. Ask somebody in the next seat. They might know. You can pass it on.
But as a clue, I'll say. I can't do Pig Latin. I was going to do Pig Latin. I can't do it. Models A, eModels A, Ellingse, Andai Unse.
Just think, there's some empty shelves and there's going to be some special kits going on them.
Very special.
Yeah.
And not special, but special. Soon. Someday, soon.
Yeah, but it was great news and everybody was rather excited at the end of last week.
Yes, I was kind of whizzing around the walls and everything.
Yeah,
haven't slept on the ceiling now from last week.
You haven't slept for days writing a shopping list, have you?
Yeah, I've actually been sat here since then just going... I'm not even into loo or anything. It could get messy.
Yeah. Dave, where's the rum gone back? I said he knew if you badgered Peter long enough, he'd give in. So
yeah.
Talking about saying that, who is in the chat? Let's go back up to the top because chat is moving very quickly tonight. And as you know, once again, if you have any questions for us tonight, try put them in capital letters so we can hopefully have a chance at seeing them. We do apologise if we do miss them. We don't miss them on purpose. It's just that chat moves at lightning speed.
Robert Blaylock says, "Great, Fox is speaking in Pig Latin. I barely understand English." Sorry, I don't really understand Pig Latin. So
if we need to, if we do have one of our moderators that's learning Latin at the moment, so we can refer everything over to him. All right. So first in tonight was Bob Bobbington.
Hey, Bob.
Followed by Scott Sutherland. It must be really dark in the Orkney, isn't it?
No, Ted, you got it. You did it again. Must be dark where?
It must be dark in Orkney.
Oh, that's better. There you go.
Yeah.
Odo says hello, Scott.
It's dark down here. Robert Blaylock. Good afternoon. Good afternoon, he says.
Got it right, Ted. Yes.
Yes. Mike Horsby says eModels, the only stream that matters. Of course it matters. Yes. Of course it does. Yes. Thank you. Lots of people in, and we're just moving down. So apologies if I miss you. Gaz in Malvern. Hi, Ted and Fox.
Where's Gaz from, Ted?
Malvern.
Good girl. Carry on.
I had to look.
You had to look.
Yeah.
Answers at the back of the book.
Is that a trick question? I thought.
It's at the back of the book.
Yeah. And Chris Gross Models says the clock went back yesterday in the UK, so we are now officially on GMT.
Yes, so now I can just type GMT as I normally do, but actually be correct. Yes. Times I always put GMT. I didn't know BST was a thing, so.
So we caught up with some of our brothers from across the water and things like that, so there'll be a bit more of a social time to be with them for the next few weeks. We're an hour earlier. Robert Blaylock says his clock's don't go back for another week. Then Mike Hornsey asks what everybody's working on. Robert says the Trumpeter 148th U-boat. Get in.
Yeah, we'll see you in about, I don't know, 3 years.
Yeah, see you in a couple of years. Airfix
so you were Ted racing now. You're racing, mate.
Yeah. Mike Hornsey said he got to the engine room and he put it away for a while. That's where I'm at the moment. I was doing a little bit and painting things the other night as well. So
Raging Bassist is putting the kettle on. Coffee, 2 sugars.
Yeah, no, just half a sugar in mine and a little bit of milk. Just builder's tea, please.
What, by tea, do you mean coffee?
No, tea. Builders drink tea in big mugs.
You say tea, but I know you mean coffee, really.
Oh, I can't drink coffee.
Sharman Adrian asks, has Fox got over his excitement last week? That'll be a no then.
Yeah. Right, let's go. Just going down. Everybody's chatting amongst themselves, which is brilliant. That's what it's all about. Most of the times, if we miss a question, if we're chatting about something else and we miss a question, usually the guys in chat will answer it for you. And that goes for you people out there in YouTube land who've got to us via the link from eModels. If you want to join in the chat, down here somewhere on the left, is it the left or the right? Or
there you go, that's the side. No, there you go.
That side, down here somewhere. Yeah, down here. You'll find that if you click on the YouTube logo, it will flash you across to the YouTube site and you can join in the chat if you're able to. I don't think it works on tablets, and I don't think it works on mobile phones unless if you're using the link, it won't work. You have to go into the app. Is that right?
I never know if it's the app or the desktop version on a mobile.
Yeah, I think you have to be in the desktop version. That's it. Yeah.
But if you're watching us on mobile, watch us on telly on your Xbox or your PS4 or on your PC, because then we have better sound.
Yeah,
we're not naturally this tinny. I keep telling my mum, because she watches the stream on her iPad, which is this big, and she watches things and she has the screen there like that in portrait mode, so the screen's that big. And I keep saying, hey, you can turn it that way, you know. And I also say, why don't you just turn your Xbox on and watch it on the telly rather than on the little pokey iPad?
Yep. So yeah, we are available in widescreen as well and HD. Hopefully this is coming out in HD. So you can see us in all our glory. That's a
yes. Chris from Gross Model says he's glad you've moved that red top paint. It was doing his head in.
I did. I moved it on purpose to see if anybody noticed, and somebody has noticed.
Chris has the all-seeing eye. He just says if you can just swap the grey and white ones over.
Yeah. What else is doing?
Dave Wise, the Rum Gone Barker says yes, it's in the correct spot now.
Right. Yeah. Can you tell if they're in numerical order? Are they in numerical order or not?
I think you've got the Dunkelgelb in the wrong place.
But it's pre-45.
There you go. Then you see.
Yeah. Right.
Dave Wise, the Rum Gone Barker says we miss Mum. She has not said hello for weeks.
Yeah, the hand with the envelope in.
So now I've just said that out loud, and she's watching it downstairs. I'll probably hear so like, hello from downstairs.
Here they're coming upstairs.
2, 3, 4. There you go. I don't know if you heard that.
Yeah, that is another thing as well. There's a little bit of a lag, because sometimes when your questions or your comments pop up in the chat, there is a bit of a lag between us going out and your question coming in. I think we see the chat in real time.
It's really weird because we see the chat real time, whereas you at home watching don't see it real time. You see it all kind of, they get everybody's comments. There's a hand. Not on camera, but there's a hand. It's waving. Can't see it.
Yeah.
She waved. Yeah, you guys at home, we see the chat real time. So when you type a comment, we get it pretty much straight away. What you don't necessarily see that because your chat is prioritized for you. So you'll see the stream 30 seconds delayed or 20 seconds delayed. So that's why your chat never looks. That's why when we do any giveaways, we always go for the first comment we see because we get it real time. Yeah,
and that's why it's sometimes a little bit confusing because people make a comment that on something we said 20 seconds ago, and it really confuses us. But we get around it. We work. Yeah, we work. Yeah, we work with it. Right, this is all racing ahead. Who else was there? The Gaz.
Well, Robert Blaylock says he's watching us on a 72-inch screen.
Wow, we're big.
I didn't even know those things were such really.
Are we that wide? Am I touching the edge? Am I touching the edge?
Steady now, when you go like that once. Yeah. Well, I've got my Xbox One X coming in about 2 weeks, so if you can get that screen to me, Robert, in about 2 weeks' time.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if I can get to the edge. No, I can't get to the edge.
I can do that way. Look, I'm 72 inches wide now. I can't get my hand over there. I'm 72 inches wide. Look. If I go really close, does that fill your whole screen?
Oh, that's a frightening sight.
Especially 72 inches.
Because 72 inches, so we can see up your nose.
No, you don't want to see on my nose. I don't want to go about it. I don't know about that. Right. Gareth Redfern says, hi, Fox's mum. Dave, why is Rum Barker says, we love mum.
Michael Jackman said, big box of flesh paint behind Ted, enough to paint the crew of an aircraft carrier.
Or cargo.
Yeah, go for it. Yeah, can you imagine painting the crew of an aircraft carrier? Thousands of them.
God. Smooth says, I bet Ted is still out of focus, or do you have a new LG 74-inch prescription screen?
I'm also.
He made a joke earlier on that he got a special prescription screen, so Ted was always in focus.
Oh, right, that's good. yeah, it's not the camera that's out of focus; it's me. I'm soft around the edges. Fuzzy.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, and Halloween is tomorrow. Yeah. So this is our spooktacular eModels.
The thing you have to know about me, Shaman, is that I only know 3 days. Most days, if you ask me what day it is, I don't know. Because I don't have a regular going to work routine, so I don't know. I only know Mondays because it's the live stream, Thursdays because I put the bins out, and Fridays I bring the bins back in. Other than that, if you ask me at any point what days, I'll be like,
yeah. That's a problem. Yeah, it's a problem when you don't have a daily routine of it's Monday.
Somebody's saying that you are sharper than me. I need to adjust my focus immediately.
No, I think he just means I'm sharper than you.
Oh, cutting.
Whoa. Yeah, take that man's name.
Chris Smith says, ouch, too busy watching you guys and stabbed my finger denubbing.
Yeah. Chris said, do you put your bins out on the wrong night?
No, it's because we're not silly Southerners that put them out on like a Tuesday or something. We do it on the correct night up north.
Right. I suppose we should say, what have you been doing? What have you been doing this week, Fox?
I have finished The Eagle.
Ooh.
It is done. It is finished. Sneak peek. I'm just in the process of putting episode 10 together now. Sneak peek. I've got nowhere to hold it now because I've got all the thruster bells on the bottom. This thing is complete. Look at that.
Ooh.
Oh, got all the little wiggly wobbly legs. Let's give you
I'll look it on you.
Springy legs. All the windows are in. Thruster bells are all painted up. All the thrusters are on the bottom.
That's a big.
I don't really want to tilt it too much because the legs will fall off. But I'll give you a very sneak peek. Live stream exclusive unless you're watching it not live, in which case it's not exclusive.
Do the lights.
Okay, let me turn this light off. It's gone dark. Ooh. Doesn't work like that, does it?
Okay.
Ready? Check out this business. Alan Carter never looked so good and never lasted this long in an Eagle without it falling apart. So I expect to drop it any minute. So it is done. It is complete, and it's got the little springy when you put it back on the table. And it's been an absolute brilliant build. I have to tell you, if you've been on the fence, put my light on. If you've been on the fence about getting one, whether it's the special edition one or the regular kit, get one. It's you're not going to find a big eagle kit of any of the, there's no other big eagle kits unless you spend a fortune on some of the resin ones, which are ridiculously expensive. There is a 44-inch eagle kit, full size, made of resin. I wouldn't like to try that. It's probably hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of pounds. But it's an absolutely brilliant kit. It's, like I've said before, the command module on the front is not glued on. The engines on the back are not glued on. The shoulder pods aren't glued on. These bits of the roof here, I've not glued these on because they're only attached with PVA. So on the off chance that somebody pokes it and the window falls out, you can get in there and get it out again. And the thrust, all these thrusters and bits underneath are not glued on either. They're all just pushed into place and they fit and they stay on. So they probably didn't engineer it to be that way, but it just means now that if I need to transport this, I can take it all apart. I can, like you saw there, I can take the front off and turn the lights on and off. Some people build this with like lighting setups in the reconnaissance module and have wiring going through to the nose cone. I'm like, no, just build it so you can take the front off and put the battery and the light in there, dead easy. So if you've been on the fence about getting one of these, just get one. Just absolutely, it will look amazing in your cabinet, assuming your cabinet's big enough. I've got to find somewhere to put this now. Oh, I've just realized the one thing I've not done is paint these bits black, so I've got to do that. I've got to find somewhere to put this now for a few weeks till I can get this down to eModels, and I've got nowhere to put it that'll fit. So Pete, when you get this, it might have a bit of dust on it.
Yeah, put a bag over it. Yeah, I did notice, if anybody wants one, I did notice by chance as I was flicking through the and doing the what's in store tonight, there are still some in stock.
Yes, they have both the regular and the special edition. Was it in the offers page? I can't remember. It might have been in the offers page. I'm not sure. But if you've been on the fence, I can't recommend it enough. It's not issue free like any kit. There's a couple of little niggly things, but they really are niggly things. Like the clear parts for the windows don't really line up very well, but you can sand them down and make them fit, and there are third-party kits. Other than that, I've had no issues with it. It's very rare you get a proper plastic build-it-together glue kit where there's like one or two little things that might niggle you. That's literally it. The windows, that I can't think of anything else that's given me grief. It's sure it was fiddly building the spine and stuff like that, but not badly designed. It was just fiddly. If you've ever made, if you're old enough to have built like, you know, little balsa wood planes where you make all the framing and the rigging and the wooden rigging and frame and stuff on a board with pins, it's just like that, but really, really simple. So I can't fault it. It's really accurate. It goes together like a dream. Some of it fits together so well you don't need to glue it, and it looks fantastic when you've done it. So, but episode 8 is up on episode 9 is up on eModels now. That went up a few days ago. Episode 10 should be up hopefully in the next few days, and in episode 10, I will show you how I did the thruster bells, which it looks like I've spent 100 but haven't. That's just paint. They're just painted, and somehow I managed to make it look like actual turned aluminium that's had a bit of weathering on it. So I'm really proud of that. It's really sweet. So I'm really proud of the thruster bells.
No, I keep saying I'm looking at that metal paint. I really need to find a use for it. I want to have a go at doing that myself. I might just get some spoons and do it on some spoons.
Well, a few people have asked how I did it, and most of episode 10, which will be the last episode, I've just got to figure out how to put it so I can film it and say it's done, get all the cloth up and stuff. Most of episode 10 is how I painted the thruster bells, and I'll give you a quick preview. I basically I primered them in the UMP gloss primer, the gloss black primer. This stuff is fantastic. I can't recommend this enough. Spray about 23 to 25 psi and you'll love it. It's brilliant stuff. I then went over it with the, you won't be able to see this on camera, but it's the Vallejo, I can't even see it with my eyes. Oh, God, Vallejo metal color duraluminium. It's 77.702. Duraluminium, or duralanium as Ant likes to call it.
Well, those American guys, they say aluminum anyway.
They just say duraluminium. But if you spray this over a gloss black, which this is, but spray it really, build it up in really thin mist coats. Don't just slap it on.
Slap it on.
Thank you. I just point now and he does it. Don't just put it all over it. Do it in thin coats and build it up over a few. You know, take your time building it up really slowly. Almost no paint coming out, and you'll get a nice metallic shine to it, which kind of looks like the turned aluminium parts, but it still has a bit of a painty look. The last thing I did then was I got this C1 metalizer, and I buffed it. I put that on it and buffed it.
Yeah, that's the stuff on the stuff on the bells, isn't it? Because
Yeah.
Shaman's asking, was that true metal?
But this is what then made them look like actual metal parts. And what happened was, this, when you put this on, it looks like really nice metal paint. This takes it that one step different. With this stuff, you can put this over just the gloss black base, and you'll get a really nice dark reflective chrome color. But if you put it on top of this, this is already silver. It's already a little bit shiny, and you've done it lightly, so you've got the gloss of the black coming through. So you're putting this on top of something that's already silver and shiny. It just makes a much brighter color, because you can change what your thing looks like with this stuff by changing what's underneath it. And at first it used to say you have to spray this onto a gloss black lacquer or enamel color. You can put it on anything. It sticks perfectly to this. It sticks perfectly to that on top of the black primer. And then I did some weathering, but I'll show that in the video, and it will show you how I did it. And it just came out looking like this nice weathered, slightly tarnished, not like it's just come off the thing, but off the machine that makes the turned aluminium parts. It has a nice kind of slightly burnished, it's been handled and it's a bit dirty look, which I didn't plan it. I just kind of winged it, and I was like, oh, I loved it. So do get yourself some of this stuff.
Well, then if you're not already subscribed to the eModels channel, just click on the little bell icon on the eModels YouTube page, and you'll get notifications about when we post our videos. So when Fox's video comes up and you want to see how it's all done, you'll get an email telling you.
Ilta van der Werf says, was that what needle for the Vallejo metal paint? It's my 0.35 Neo Fruata.
Yeah.
I put it through, for this stuff, I put it through about 18 PSI. And I was literally pulling the trigger to the paint point and pulling it a tiny bit to get the smallest amount of paint, just because I really wanted to build the color. If you put this on, the weird thing with this paint is if you brush it on, it looks like this silver on the label. It looks really reflective. If you spray it on, it looks like not quite as shiny. But if you do it lightly and build it up in very misty layers, it's a lot more reflective and bright than if you just go and cover it, because then it just looks like a metal silver paint basically. So yeah, I used 0.35. I also use that for this primer as well. And a lot of people say this has to go through a 0.4 or higher. No, 0.35. Yeah. 23 to 25 PSI. It's good.
Brilliant. So, yeah, so we look forward to the videos.
Yes, so that is done. As soon as I can get this up to eModels, I'll get up to them and they'll go into their display cabinet in the showroom, so you can go in and see it next time you pop in. If you're in Sheffield or Stoke or wherever it is. Different places, Sheffield and Stoke. Not in Stoke, is it?
I don't know. I was never up on geography, local knowledge, things like that. No.
TK's in. Hey, TK.
Yeah, hi TK. How's things? How's college and things? Shaman says Haynes manual on a Gundam T-shirt. That's cool. Where's this?
I can't remember where I got it from. Somebody put a link up on Facebook somewhere. I'm like, I'll have that.
Yeah.
And then I was like, oh, did I just buy that? Okay.
Yeah, and he says, where's the slap it on T-shirt? It's coming. It's on the way.
We'll sort one out. There's been another comment in the chat which is unusually coincidental given what we're going to be showing tonight, but I'm not going to say what it was.
Yeah, you're spotting it. I can't spot it. Yes. Right, where were we?
Robert Blaylock says, if your airbrush makes a noise, you're doing it all wrong. No, it's me that makes the noise when I spray. If I'm spraying well, I go. If I'm spraying badly and it's not going well, I'm like,
Yeah, I was just about to ask, are you the sort of person that paints with your tongue out or your tongue in? Is it?
Well, it's difficult when you've got a mask on, but usually with my tongue out. But then I end up with like a wet nose because I'm like, and then my nose gets wet, and then I've got a mask on and I can't scratch my nose, and it just goes wrong. And then my glasses steam up and it all goes wrong.
So yeah, so is it a one eye shut and a tongue out?
That's what I'm drawing. For some reason, I have a good eye and a bad eye. This eye is the good eye. And this eye, it works. It just doesn't focus on anything. So this lens is really just cosmetic. But when I'm drawing, I tend to look through this eye, so it's out of focus. I don't know why. When I'm drawing, I actually draw with this eye, so it's out of focus, and somehow it makes me draw better.
I usually have the Optivisor on, but still Still, I'm trying. No, I can't. No, yeah, it's all beyond me painting. Right, where else are we up to? Any quick questions, guys? Email them to me. If you're watching and you're not in a chat, you can email them.
I will put the email address in chat for you with my loud keyboard.
Yeah. But if you're not in chat, it's ted@emodels.co.uk.
There you go.
You can send me. I'm just checking the emails now to see if any.
If you want to put a question in chat, make sure to do it in all capitals. As we've got to say at the start, but as always, it is a moderated chat, and this is a family-friendly show. So be nice in the chat. Everybody is anyway, but we always have to say it. Be nice in the chat. Look after the mods, and they'll look after you. Some news from you, Ted. You put your latest eMopen video up, didn't you?
Oh yeah, yes, Ted Skipperton.
Yes, Ted Skipperton may have made an entrance.
Yes, yeah. Hope you enjoyed it. It is up on the eModels YouTube page. And this week we were looking at Splashes, the MIG mud sets. Mud. Yeah, we did briefly look at nuclear fusion at home, but that seemed to go wrong. So we moved quickly on and we went to the eMopen weathering tutorials. Hopefully you enjoyed it. It was a bit of fun. It's just a bit of light-hearted sort of quickie how-to tutorials, and I hope you like them. And I'm looking at Professor McSkipperton is looking for ideas to do next. It has had one or two ideas sort of set. What would you like us to display for you? Something from the eModels products. We'll do something, some demonstrations.
2 quick questions. One you can do very quickly, Ted. And I can't do it, but you can. Robert Blaylock says, where did Fox and Ted get their shelf and drawer systems on their workbenches? Can you post a link in the chat, Tedward, to the workstation accessories thing on eModels? They're the Hobby Zone sets, and there's a whole section on eModels for it.
Yeah, there's a whole section. I'll see if I can get it on.
I think you can, because you're the channel, so you can post a link in there. If you go into eModels, if you're on there now, Robert, if you just go to eModels, we'll post the link anyway, but if you go to eModels, I'm doing it now, and you go to, so it's emodels.co.uk, your one-stop shop for all your model making needs, obvs.
Yeah.
And on the menu at the top, if it was full screen, I could tell you, if you go to accessories, and in accessories on the menu, it says workshop organizers, that will take you straight to the page where there's like all the Hobby Zone system bits, and Ted's just posted the link up there for you. They've got tons of them. There may not be all of them on there. There's about 30 or 40 different modules. If there's a particular module you want, like say if they have no corner units, just drop them a line, because they get them restocked very regularly. So if you say, hey, I need to buy this particular corner unit or drawer unit, they'll say, yep, we'll have that in next week or whenever they'll get some in. So have a look through. You should be able to get most of them on there, but if there's any missing, just drop them a line and we'll be able to get them for you.
Yeah, they do seem to prove fairly popular. So the guys at eModels sort of get an order in from Hobby Zone quite regularly. So we shouldn't be.
Yeah, so the moment we posted that link in the chat, they'll have sold out by the end of the show. Trust me. They're getting there quickly. There was another question. Rustin Customs Models asks a question which, when we tell you the answer, you'll kick yourself. Question: how would you go about making a 1/24th newspaper? Shall I tell him?
Yeah, go on then.
What you do is you go onto the internet and you look for on the internet a newspaper, your favorite newspaper, whatever you want it to be in the UK. If you're making a transit van, it'd be a copy of the Sun, and you just look for images of the front page of that newspaper, and you save the image, and then you scale it down to 24 times smaller than normal, and you print it out. Done. Yeah. And all you need to do, if you've actually got if you want all the pages in between, if it's somebody holding a newspaper, you can usually find photographs online of such things, or you could just get a newspaper and take some pictures on your phone and then print them out. But you just have to divide the actual size of it by 24. So if it's 10 inches by 16 inches, divide 16 by 24 and 10 by 24, and there you go, print it out.
Yeah, I do the same for printing maps and things like that. You don't realise how difficult it is to draw a realistic looking map. If you tried to hand draw one, it's just impossible. So what you do, go to Google Images, go to Google, type in maps, newspapers, select images, and it'll show you a full page, a full screen of images, and you just press print screen, and it'll just print them out all different sizes. Just cut them all out you want.
Farnacle, I like that name. Farnacle says, get Ted to say mud mood.
Mud mood. Mud mood.
Kevin Lotzer says, question, Ted, how is the next part of the U-boat coming on?
It is coming on.
Next question.
It is coming on. There's been a bit of a developments in the house and things this week. As some of you know, we're trying to sell the house. The house has gone on the market this week, so things have been put to a little one side. But I keep coming in and doing little bits and pieces on it to try and keep the momentum ready to be assembled, and then we're going to get back onto the next episode where we're going to look at doing some weathering in the engine room. Rather than building a module or a compartment, we'll have a look at some weathering for the engine and things like that. So using some engine oil and Starship filth. So yeah, it is coming on. And as I say, we did the eMopen video tutorial as well, so that's been going on. Yeah.
Question from Sharman: does eModels do display cases? Yes. Just
Yes,
go to eModels and type in display cases in the search window. There's a lot of pre-made ones. They don't do custom-made ones.
Yeah.
But as with all things, if there's a particular thing you want, like if there's a specific case you've seen, like a pre-made one, drop them a line. If it's not something they've got, they can probably get it for you. But they do a lot of pre-made ones. Yeah. Question there from Smooth that you have to read out, Ted.
Where's that one?
3 or 4 down from Sharman's question.
Can't even find Sharman's question.
It's in capitals.
Right. Do Viejo paints spray okay on Eduard Profi Pack kits? I think we did.
He did all right there.
I've been practicing. Yeah, he sent me. Actually, we have to be truthful. He sent me that one a few days ago, so I've been practicing.
He'd be rehearsed.
So Viejo do spray pretty good on Eduard Profi Packs. Yeah, I haven't done them myself, but I've heard of people that have. There.
Yeah. Keep on your toes, Ted. That's what it's about.
Thank you, Smoo. I enjoyed doing that eMopen thing. Yeah, pretty good fun. I like doing them. Just keep it fun. Keep it fun, keep it interesting, and you'll watch them, hopefully.
Yeah. Keep your questions, sorry, burping then, do apologise. Keep your questions coming, everyone. More questions. Keeps us going. Makes for a very short show if nobody asks anything.
From Dave. Dave, where's the rum gone? He's building the Revell F4F Phantom, and he's never done shiny metal paint. Any tips, or should I just cover it in PVA, then wrap it in Baco foil? That's a good idea, actually. Yeah, that will stop the aliens sort of zooming in on it. Won't it? Cover it in Baco foil. Wear a hat as well.
Yeah, stop the government tapping your brain with microwaves.
Yeah, when you're building, wear a tinfoil hat. But metal paints, as Fox has shown you, if you want it really shiny metal looking, use the metallizer. And there is what's that? We looked at it the other way, didn't we? Weathering metal. There's a book in eModels.
Yes,
weathering.
It was in the bargains in the office section. Yeah. I don't know if it's there now, but I think it's the ammo. It's a weathering magazine. I think it was an issue of that was about weathering metal airplanes. If you're doing metal planes, there's a few different ways you can do it. You can, like I said, like Ted said, use the C1 metallizer. Just do some experiments with different colors underneath it, just pure gloss black, different coats of silver, things like that. It's just a powder. You put it on with an applicator and you buff it off and it's done. It's really durable. You can handle it. And if you get fingerprints on it, you just rub them off. And you can spray this with Pledge with gloss coats. You can spray clear paints over the top of it. It can take stuff on top. You can do weathering on top of it. You will rub it off eventually, but it's really durable. Alternatively, you've got things like the Alclad metallic paints, which are lacquers, so you'd have to be really careful and wear the respirator and stick the house out. And there are other options in there for metallics as well, like just the Vallejo metallic paints are really good, like burnt iron and duraluminum and stuff like that. Depends what you want to do, but this stuff is brilliant. Yeah, what was I going to say? Yeah, there are some good quality acrylics out there as well. So if you don't have the facilities for spraying and half basket and things like that, there's some fairly decent acrylic stuff. And there's that stuff in the tubes as well, the true metals. They're always good. Yeah, lots of options and things to do out there. Yeah. Nige in chat asks if anyone has the clear canopy for the Fine Molds 172nd Millennium Falcon I can buy, please. Don't use the one that's not got the clear parts, because if you want it to look really cool, don't make it with the clear part. The filming miniature, the first one, didn't have any clear part in it. It was just the frame. So if you want it to look really, really cool, especially on the fine molds one, and want it to look super profesh, don't use the clear part. Use just the frame. Trust me, it'll look much better. Trust me on that.
Yeah, there's a tip from the guy that's building a Millennium Falcon.
I have actually got one. Straight enough, it's been in my bits box and it's scratched a hex. It'd be no use to anybody. But I've built several of them. It always looks better without the windows, because that's what the filming model was like. They didn't want to get reflections off studio lights and things like that. So the first one, I think, didn't have clear in there at all. So just trust me, it looks much better without the clear part. If you've got the frame part, just use that.
Yeah, all right. I'll have a look down. I'll have a look back into the.
Sharman asks if the new house will have a bigger model room.
That's what I'm looking for. That is a sort of on the must-have list for hunting a new house. It's either going to have a bedroom that we can convert to a model room, or a workshop, or some attic space, or something that can be readily adapted to a model room. Hopefully a little bit bigger than what I've got now. That's really a case of once you've got something, you think, yeah, I could do with this, or I could do with this over there. I would like my spray booth to be on the bench rather than the back of the workshop. So, yeah, and now when I look at premises where I can put a workshop, I'm also looking at where can I put my camera, where would the light come from.
Got it in the corner of your mind, haven't you there, Ted?
Yeah, so we probably buy a house that is actually a photography studio with a little flat above it.
Yeah, I have this cunning plan. If I could afford it, I wouldn't. I often say, like, because what I'd love, we've got a garage on our driveway and it's decrepit and falling apart. Anyway, we need to get it taken down because it's old. We don't use it as a garage. It's just got junk in it. But if I had the funds, I'd get it just completely rebuilt and have it, lined with thermal lining and wired up to electrics and have broadband in there. That'd be brilliant. But what I'd really do, if I had the funds, to avoid having to get planning permission to build an extension, I'd build a bunker. Because we've got this big long back garden. It's a nice back garden, but what it's missing is a bunker complex underneath. So what you could do is get them to, build a massive. You could have an extension the length of your garden. It'd be like twice as big as the house, and I could have a proper model making studio in there. I could have a room set up for synthesizers, and so I could do my music. I could have a photography area, spray booth, the drawing room for the drawing. And you could play music that loud, and nobody'd hear it. It'd be brilliant. So I'd have an underground bunker made.
Yeah,
I'm an idiot. What can I say?
Yeah, well, yeah, and your mum could be above you.
Yeah,
just doing the gardening. Yeah. Are you down there, Fox?
Yeah, I thought so.
Yeah,
but failing that, yeah, I'd love to get our. Because some people work from their sheds in their gardens, and I thought about that, but it's like. The funny thing is, right, if you think about it, when it's night time outside, like it's 11 o'clock at night, and it's like, the middle of winter, and you're in your house, and it's your own little world, and you're safe and sound, and you don't think about spiders or burglars or anything like that. But if you have a shed or a garage that you've converted to your workspace, and it could have like nice windows and central heating in it and wiring and lights and everything, there's part of me that would still be like, I'm sat in my garden doing this, and I feel worried about spiders and burglars and things. And lions coming in and attacking me and all. It would still feel like when you're a kid and you go camping in the back garden, you feel completely dangerously exposed. I don't know why. It would still be no different than being in the house, but because you're in a building that's supposed to be an outbuilding, you'd be like, there's going to be people outside, and it's really weird. I don't know. It's strange.
There is a thing. I'm in the shed, in the garage attached to the house, and there is a thing where you like that. You come home from work. The fire's lit, you've had your dinner, you sat down, you have a cup of tea, and you're thinking, right, I'll go out in the shed now. But then it's chucking it down outside, and it's raining, and it's only a matter of a couple of yards between the back door and the door of the garage. And you think, it's horrible, I don't want to go out there. And that's what you've got to fight against. So if you're thinking of building a model room in a shed, first of all, make sure the shed is well insulated. You can't just work in an ordinary shed from B&Q. You've got to insulate it, have some sort of heating, lighting, electrics, and things like that. And then you've got to make it in the right position so that you can get out of the house and get into it without getting wet. Otherwise,
you can actually make even just simple things like sheds. Because I know Paul from UMP, a few years ago now, he converted a brand new shed, quite a big shed. He converted it into his studio. And like, you know, I don't know if he still uses it now, but when he did it, he had it all lined and insulated and the light, and it looked brilliant. It looked like a proper little man cave. It was fantastic.
Yeah.
Michael Jackman says he's been banished to the garage for the last 8 months. It was freezing today. I can either buy a new heater or another kit, so I have to get used to the cold.
Yeah. Where's the room going? Says just put another jumper on and get a kit. Yeah, that's it. Yeah, he's got to find that.
Says Fox, are you secretly a prepper? Jenks Evans and help my Bob. Lol. Hey, well, you see what it is, Shmoo. Hey.
Right.
James Johnson, just because he's missed it. James Johnson says, hi, all that eagle is looking nice, because he missed it at the start because he wasn't here. I'll give him a proper close-up view. Da, 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 da. There you go. It's all done.
Are you going to do some great? Are we going to see some? Are we going to see it fly?
I don't know, because I was thinking about. It's a question of space. I might get some green material and try some green screen, but if I want to do a proper taking off and landing, I can do a landing by putting it upside down and filming it landing. But to get it to take off, I might have to get some green thread and see if I can lift it up without. But then it'll kind of go like this as it takes off, and it'll be everywhere. So I might. And the other thing is, there's not enough space. If I'm going to do a proper green screen, I want it flying past the camera. And the way you do that is traditionally, if you've got a model and you want it to look like it's going past the camera like that, you actually move the camera past the model. And what you do is you have the model there, and the camera looks in this direction, and it comes along and it does that. And that's how you get the kind of Star Trek ship flying past the thing and then going off into the distance. Unfortunately, you need quite a big area and a lot of green screen to do that. So I probably won't be able to do that. I might try doing a takeoff and landing. Yeah,
we'll have to discuss tactics after the show. We need to see that fly.
And if the thread should snap, then it's just Alan Carter flying, so it's really realistic.
Smooth says, use a fishing rod and green line to reel it up. That's a good idea.
Yes. A further update. Remember in the last show, I did say that I had actually tried to contact Nick Tate, who played Alan Carter. To get him to appear in one of my build videos in the little, the little Comm Lock sequence. Yeah. Oh, I also need to show that because I promised somebody I would. To get him to appear. And I never heard back. I got a couple of people contacting me saying, hey, contact him this way, contact him this way. I still haven't heard back. So he's not going to be in time for episode 10, unfortunately. I wanted to get him doing a little skit, but it never happened. So I did try.
Yeah, he could do a little extra video. The day will come. One day he'll just he'll get a phone call. Hello, it's Alan Carter.
While I think on as well, somebody actually asked me specifically to show it off in the show, to show the Comm Lock that I made for the skit. So if you'll forgive me, Ted.
Yep. In the meantime, I'll have a look at what's come in. We have a question from Jamie Bourne. Hi, Ted and Fox. I recently purchased the Tamiya 135 Valentine. I was asking what paint colour I should use for the main hull. I think the Valentines were mainly, am I right in saying they were mainly used in the desert, so there'd be a sand type colour. I can't actually think of a colour at the moment off the top of my head.
I'm sure I've seen something like in like browns and greens as well there.
Yeah, I think on the box it's actually brown and green, isn't it?
Or no, I'm thinking of the Matilda. Sorry, I'm thinking of the Matilda.
Yeah, I think that's what I'm thinking of as well.
Yeah. I remember bizarrely seeing many years ago, when I was about 15, there was a book on how to paint models, and it was a big thick book in the days before the internet, and it had this beautifully painted Tamiya Matilda. And it's funny because you look at the box for the Matilda now, they've re-released it, and it looks exactly the same as the one I saw in this book, and it's like, is that the same one? They've just photographed it, and it's like a 30-year-old photograph.
I think, Jamie, some of the guys in chat may be able to answer you. I can't just think off the top of my head. It depends on what theatre you want to display her in as well, and
what division and battalion and things like that, because they all
and you may have to make sure you get the right colour, olive drab or anything like that.
Yeah. I mean, the best advice that Ted and I can give, if you're thinking about doing an actual vehicle from real life, like a military vehicle or something like that, the one-stop shop to find out what colour should it be is the internet. Google. There'll be incredible amounts of photographs, obviously many in black and white, but there will be probably loads of photographs on various websites, historical websites, with showing that vehicle, whatever you're making, and in colour. And it may well be there's one in a museum somewhere. So again, that will give you
Yeah, as Carl made a comment there, he said it would be desert yellow, which I probably tend to think it would be, depending on what brand you go with as to what they call the actual colour.
But you can guarantee if you're making a specific model, there's a million other people who have asked the same question who've got the model, and there'll be either groups online or there'll be just an infinite, well, not an infinite number, obviously, but there'll be a finite number, but there'll probably be tons and tons.
Yeah, no doubt the world of Facebook and things today as well. There'll probably be a Matilda enthusiast page or something.
I mean, whenever I start a kit that's not a Gundam, obviously, but there's something that's going to have reference pictures, the first thing I do is go online and spend a couple of hours just scouring for photographs. So when I did my U-boat, when I made this, you know, and it's a lot of the stuff I do is things like models of studio models, and there's things like that. You'll find actual photographs of the real studio models. Maybe not many, but I'll always try and find, if it's something like this, photographs of the actual studio model. So there'll be loads of tons of resources. The first stop is always the internet.
Yeah, Carl's just recommended, if you can't see the chat, by the way, Jamie, Carl's just recommended Tamiya XF59. I'm not sure if I've got that colour, actually.
He also says, actually, he makes a very good point, Carl does. He says...
That's that one there. XF59.
Desert tan or something, desert yellow.
Yeah.
Carl also makes another very good point, which is unless you want to be super accurate, paint it a colour you like.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Don't worry that because you're painting a real world model, it has to look like the real thing. You could paint it pink with yellow spots if you wanted to. It's just about having fun. So don't sweat it too much.
No.
Just have fun with it.
Yeah, and the second part of his question, it's really just sort of repeating what we've just said, Jamie. You want to paint your Subaru rally car. How much mud and grime would it get? Mud, I tend to think it probably wouldn't have that much against it. It'd more be splashes. Use the big splashes for a bit of mud. It won't be thick mud because it would mainly be on a track, not a race track, but a rally track. Bit of mud, bit of splashing, but it wouldn't be going across and off road, so it'd be dusty, dirty, and a few.
Well, unless it's actually rally in the UK, in which case, like round Snowdon, it'd be just covered in mud.
Yeah, it'd be just paint. Yeah, it'd be just rain and mud.
Yeah, but the thing to bear in mind, I suppose, with rally cars, it sounds like a silly question to ask how muddy would it get. It's not a silly question. With a rally car, it's not like you're making a tank that's been in the mud and then sits around for 3 weeks. With a rally car, it kind of gets ready, goes on the rally, he's probably out there for a few hours and then goes back in the van and goes back to base. So you're not really going to be doing a lot of, say, dried on crusted mud. It's going to be a lot of fresh mud.
Yeah.
And things like that. Or it might go through some dry, dusty stuff. So you might have some dusty marks, but mostly if it's going to be muddy, it's going to be fresh mud because it's only on the track for an hour at most.
It'll be more. We've got flying here. It'll be splashes and dust. So depending what time of year it's racing.
Yeah.
Once again, Google.
Yeah. Because I mean, I've seen rally cars where the only thing you can see through the windscreen is the bits where the wiper's gone like that, and there's 2 little holes. The rest of it's just brown. So, but then you see them sometimes where they go through, say, European courses, and it's not like Wales, so it's not like knee deep in mud, and it's just dust. So it's up to you. Whatever you think looks appropriate. I think rally cars always look best when they're really dirty and filthy because that's what rally's all about.
Depends.
Depends. If you can't do it sideways, don't do it at all.
Yeah, but have a go, Jamie. Have a go. Have a look round. Google some pictures and just please yourself. Choose a scheme. Choose as much mud and stuff as you want. Just splash it on.
Just have fun with it. Don't worry too much about whether it's right or wrong. Just play. I've got foxes flying in my room. Dave says, you've got my fly called Greebly. I wonder where he went. If you remember, months ago, I had a fly and I called him Greebly.
And quite rightly, Sharma says, how serious does it go? When the fun stops, stop and do another hobby.
Yes.
Have fun. If you're not having fun, you're not doing it right.
That's actually a handy tip if you're in the middle of a build. If you suddenly find you're in the middle of a build and it's no longer fun, stop.
Yeah.
Put it to one side and go and do something else. And come back to it later on. Because if you get to the middle, halfway through a build, and it suddenly stops being fun, you're just gonna make a mess and not put your best effort in. So it's really good advice. If it ever stops being fun, just stop and go and do something else. Come back to it later.
What time are we on?
Tony Black says a good point about the things like rally cars. I'm assuming paint them shiny and then let them covered in dust. And that's something I say very briefly in episode 10 of the Eagle build, when you're doing weathering, you really just basically you're building a factory fresh thing, whatever it may be. You want to build it factory fresh and then apply the weathering, because that's how real life works. Something starts off shiny and clean and then gets covered in crud. So you still got to make it nice and shiny, but then it's how much you go. It's up to you, completely up to you. Have fun with it.
Yeah, do it way up. Yeah. Right, where are we up to?
And Chris, in response to Sharman saying when the fun stops, stop, Chris says, now you tell me. Now he's nearly finished that big ass motorbike.
Yes.
Oh yeah, shall I show off the Comm Lock?
Yeah, go on, do that.
So apologies if it was you that asked me. I can't remember who it was that asked me, but they said, will you show the Comm Lock? And if you've been watching my Eagle builds, in some of them I have a little comedy skit in the middle where I take a call on the Comm Lock, and this is the Comm Lock. And it's a pretty faithful reproduction of the Space 1999 Comm Lock. You do get, when it's a kit, I can't remember who makes it, it's a resin kit, and it was produced in a limited run. I think there's still some left, you can find them online somewhere. It's all resin, it's 3 parts, that bit, this bit, and then this bit on the top. There's some metal parts for these little dials. You get this beautiful sticker. You actually get stickers with it. This sticker on the top for the screen, and you get a couple of different designs for the season 1 and 2. You get these stickers for the number pads, which when you just stick them on, look like stickers on a black button, but then you can go around them with like a Sharpie and just blend them in. That's quite nice. You get a sticker for the computer screen, which on the real thing was actually Letraset. Remember I said in the last Eagle video, they used to use Letraset.
Oh, I
the
remember
real
Letraset. Brilliant.
And if you actually look, they've done a really good job, because I think on one of the stickers they give you for this, you can actually see half of the word Letraset, because they used to like take all the writing on the sheet and just like take half of it off and stick it on. So that's quite good. But yeah, it's a resin kit, and it's just doesn't take me long to make.
Will it take calls from the BT line?
I don't know. Might do. It's only black and white though. It's not colour.
We'll have to give it a try one day. Maybe we could give it a try and see if it works one day.
But when you get it, you also get 3 stickers. You get a sticker for blank, so you can put your own picture in if you want. You get a sticker with Commander Koenig, or you get a sticker with whatever her name, Lady Wife thingy. I can't remember her name now. The one that plays Doctor whatever. She's on there. But I used a blank one. I was going to get one with my little Foxy character, but I couldn't get it printed out. So yeah, it's a really nice little kit. If you can, I can't remember who makes it though, and I can't remember where you find it. Just have a look online. You'll find it. Comm Lock, resin Comm Lock.
Yeah,
there's not many of them left, I don't think so.
Yeah, it's Tony Black's ideas of the 70s. It's not a lot different to what we've got now with mobile phones, is it?
No, I mean basically it's a keypad, it's a screen. You can have 2-way communication, and it's got a computer built in. This is supposed to be this unit. Apparently, in the blurb it says this is the computer. This is a computer screen, and these little vents are like the radiator cooling for the computer. So this bit is a computer, apparently. Yeah. So it's quite clever. It's quite clever the way they thought of it in 1974. I'm quite pleased with that. It came out quite well. I built it really hurriedly and in a rush and kind of cobbled it together, so it came out all right.
That looks all right to me.
It's nice to see it, so I thought I'd show it.
Right, what time is it?
Barbara Bain, that's the lady that played the... Yeah, but what was it? Dr. Helena something or other.
Beat me. Sci-fi. No. Right. We're going on for an hour. Should we go and have a look what's in store?
Yes, I'll go put this back in the cabinet while you go in store.
Should we have a seasonal what's in store?
Edward, we went through this last week.
Right. I've got to work out what to do. It's locked on me.
Yay.
Right. Then I do a screen share, and then it goes down like that. And I've got to press another button. Is that one down here? That's the one I need. Don't have to press screen share. Woo! So you go down, and then
insurrection. No, not insurrection. What was the thing?
Pardon?
There's workshop organisers.
There's workshop organisers. So if you need to have your workshop organisers, like the one in the background of Mr. Fox, that's the ones.
If you really want one, go now, because they'll have sold out by the end of the program.
Yeah,
they do. Trust me.
Yeah,
we've actually had Pete texting us saying, "Oh no, you've mentioned them. Oh no, they've sold out." Because he may only have we did it once and we mentioned these, and he only had about 3 of the units in stock because they were waiting for a restock the next day. He's like, "No, don't mention them. Oh, it's too late. They've sold out." Oh,
Yeah, we've got
power of the media.
We've got I remember that night actually. The phone was red hot with texts from Pete saying, "Yeah, we've got some in. Stock is running low. We've sold out."
He was like, "Oh, you had to mention them, didn't you?" He was happy that he told them, but he was like, "Should have mentioned it next week when we had loads of them in stock."
I'm just taking the chance to run through what they've got in stock. It does seem that they have quite a lot in stock at the moment.
Just really to interrupt you there before it goes off the screen, Smooth's after there's somewhere he can watch Space 1999 online. I'll send you a link later, Smooth. Let's just leave it at that.
Yeah. So it seems like they've got lots, and there's lots of them that seem to be on offer at the moment as well. So there's a pound off here and there, so you could save yourself a little bit. But decide what you want, get it put in your basket.
Robert Blaylock says he's shopping them this week. Check out fast, Robert, because by the time you get to checkout, people could have been faster than you.
Yeah.
Let's type in more basketing. I don't know what that means.
Yeah, so there they are, and there's a little video as well, YouTube video on there.
I do love them. You do need to assemble them. And what I'd say is go to Homebase or B&Q if you've still got one, and just get yourself a little thing of Gorilla wood glue. It's really good. It dries clear. And I suck at woodwork. I was good at metalwork at school, but woodwork I was terrible at. So I got these and I'm like, oh, I've got to build them. They just fit together. They're all pre-cut. It's brilliant and just perfect.
And if you order, if you order them, they come to your house like a load of flat pack furniture, but in miniature. So you get. And
what you do is on each one you're supposed to have 4 magnets that go on the bottom, but they actually send you like 3,000 magnets. So when you finish building them, you'll have like a big long stick of 1 million little magnets, which come in handy for builds.
So there we are. Once again, the modular work system by Hobby Zone. Brilliant. Right, let's
Robert Blaylock says eModels needs to sell a slap it on decal.
Slap it on. Yes. Yeah. Well, that reminds me. Yeah. If any of you guys out there are going to Telford, don't forget, you can come and see us because we've got some stickers. Peter sent me a big bag of stickers to take down to
which
Telford.
Reminds me, Ted. The chap who won the sticker last week, I haven't had a chance to get to the post office. Said I'll be doing that tomorrow. So apologies you haven't had it yet. I've got your address. I just need to get to the post office to send it to you.
Yeah, brilliant. But if you want a sticker and you're coming to Telford, come and see us. We'll give you a sticker. Right, let's have a look at what's in store. It's a Halloween spooktacular.
It was a Monster Mash. Oh, got some words. Why did I start singing that?
Monster Mash.
That's going to be stuck in my head now for like a week, and I hate that song.
Was it Boris?
It was just evil. It was musical evil, Ted. That's what it was. He did the monster. Oh, it's in my head.
Yes.
Stream off, Ted. I need to go and lie down for a bit.
You'll have that earworm going round and round in your head now.
I need to go and listen to Herb Alpert just to get it out.
We better not sing it. We might get picked. Our singing might be so good it might get detected by YouTube.
I'll tell you what, though, Ted. A blast of Spanish Flea at top volume and that'll get it out. Cures all earworms.
Right. So if you want to have a go, it looks like a bit of a chibi Frankenstein, doesn't it? Yeah, but
somebody asked if it's pre-painted. It's a Mobius, so I'm guessing it's not. But I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure what sort of green you'd use for that. You could try some of those new mecha colours, couldn't you?
No, he's asking if it's pre-painted. Like
right. Sorry. Yeah.
Mobius tend to do kits, so I would. Does it say in the description if it's?
Let's have a look down. Available for many toy kit. Monster Collectors Plus, it's just plain cool. Mobius received a license from Universal Studios to produce this model kit. Yeah,
there you go, done.
Yeah, in stores as with all Mobius reproduction kits, comes with the same classic style paper wrapped box that he did 44 years ago. Yeah, and it's 2 foot tall.
Also, by the way, Tony Black does point out it's not actually Frankenstein; it's Frankenstein's monster. Which I noticed, and I was quietly sitting here.
Yeah, well, we're just waiting for somebody. We're just waiting for somebody to point that out. Actually, we knew that.
I'm sitting there going, "Oh,
yeah." So if you want something different to do, there you go. Yeah, brilliant. Right, the next one, Polar Lights. Another Polar Lights. This is the Wizard of Oz, the Wicked Witch of the West. Now, this
is where I have to confess, the Wizard of Oz is my least favorite film of all time. I would just claw my way out of somebody's house if they started playing it.
We're off to see. Yeah, now there's been a bit of a run on the Wizard of Oz lately. I know that a few years ago there was another one that came out, Wicked, wasn't there? Stage show. I actually went to see that. It's quite good. Told the story of the Wicked Witch. This is actually a diorama. It is a kit. It comes with optional parts for the witch as well, whether she's holding a broom.
Is it Polar Lights, this one?
It's a Polar Lights, yeah. And
yeah, they do a lot of kind of figures and diorama type stuff. So.
Yeah, and it's resin as well. That's probably reflects in the price, but a resin kit. Once again, a green. I'm not sure what could anybody recommend. What sort of green you would, what green you would use to paint the faces?
Lurid green. You're looking at some of the Vallejo game colours for that kind of green.
Yeah, and a little monkey as well. There's figures in there. So that's yeah, some of the something that we've not looked at before. The Wizard of Oz, Wicked Witch of the West.
Yeah, they do a lot of kind of figures and dioramas and horror themes stuff. So it should be very good, that one.
Yeah, right.
Chris at Grace Models just says, "Are you sure that's my least favourite film?" And to that, I would say, I would rather watch Battlefield Earth than Wizard of Oz. And I've watched Battlefield Earth. Yeah.
Yeah. So it shows that eModels stock not only military stuff, aircraft and tanks and things, but yeah, they do the little different things as well.
Tony Black mentions potentially the Citadel paints from Games Workshop would also be good. They probably have they've got lots of greens for their orcs. They'd have some really lurid greens. What's one of them called? I can't remember what it's called now.
Yeah, there may be a particular model maker on a particular Facebook page that may be able to recommend painting witches and things. Yeah. So
Nige says he just bought the Bandai 172nd Perfect Grade Millennium Falcon, so he can't afford anything for the next 20 years.
Ah, yes, yeah, that's it.
Yeah, I'd love that, but it's not going to happen. So there you
go. Right, we'll have a look at another Polar Light. So I know we've seen this before. We give it away one time.
I have to do it. I have to do the laugh.
Yeah, I'd go away with it if it wasn't for you pesky kids.
Old Man Smithers. There's always an Old Man Smithers.
Yeah. Yeah, a bit of fun. This is the Polar Light Scooby-Doo Mystery Machine Snap Kit. I know we give it away as a prize one week, and somebody was really happy when it arrived. And I think they said it was a great kit as well.
Yeah, it's a little fun snap together thing. Yeah. I like the shape of it because I can see a lot of potential for not using the figures and doing other things with that van.
Yeah,
it looks like a lot of potential.
Let's have a look at the picture of it there. Yeah, Scooby Snacks. So yeah, brilliant.
I really want a chili dog now, and I don't know why.
I'm just wondering, does that picture make those decals look luminous, or is it just the way they've?
They're not luminous, and if I remember rightly, they're actually stickers, not decals.
Right.
I think I could be wrong, but they might be stickers because it's like a kit aimed at the younger kids. But just you could have a lot of fun with it, even as a proper model builder. He says in air quotes, you could have a lot of fun with that. That's how I used to draw trucks when I used to draw cars when I was younger.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, just a bit of fun. Scooby-Doo. It couldn't be a Halloween without Scooby-Doo.
Robert Blaylock says, "What is Shaggy doing to Snoopy in that picture?" Snoopy?
Oh yeah.
I think that went a bit wrong there, Robert. Snoopy.
Snoopy.
That's not Snoopy.
Shaggy. There's Shaggy as well, wasn't there? Shaggy. The Snoopy. Where did Snoopy come? There was Shaggy. Yeah, there was little Shaggy. No, that's Shaggy, isn't it?
Yeah, he's saying what Shaggy doing to Snoopy, and it's like it's not Snoopy.
Yeah, that's another dog. Let's move on.
Franchise altogether. Chronicle says, "Why is your screenshot out of focus?" Is it? It's not out of focus, I don't think.
No, screenshot.
Not on my end. It looks okay here.
I'll be out of focus when I come back. I guarantee
you got your wrong glasses on, Farnacle. Yeah, you got the right glasses.
Yeah, polish your glasses. I guarantee I'll be out of focus when I come back.
Robert Blaylock says, "Can he blame auto spell now? Because I'm sure even that wouldn't spell Scooby as Snoopy." There's just shame now. Just shame, Robert. Just
and we go from one extreme of horror movies to the next one. We've got a Mobius 1/8 scale, Mike Myers. Yeah, figure painters. This one for you, maybe.
Now, when I first thought this, Ted showed me, and I was like, "Ted, why is he standing on a Hobby Zone brush paint rack?" Then I realised it's not. It's like a stoop.
So there were, yeah, no, with his knife in his hand, so you could make this as gory or as sensible as you like.
It'd have to be gory.
Have to be gory.
Of course, Chandra would have a field day with that, because I reckon Chandra would convert the figure to be female, which would just be brilliant.
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure hasn't Chandra done a female Mike Myers already?
I don't know. I'd like to see.
Yeah, I could be wrong. For those who don't know in the chat, many of the people in the chat will know who Chandra is. She has this wonderful talent of doing figures, and she'll take a well-known male character and make a female version of it, and they're usually awesome.
Yeah, we must get her to show us some of her techniques one day. Yeah, so there's a little bit of the night he came home, Halloween, Mike Myers, John Carpenter's 1/8 scale as well, so it's going to be quite a big. Yeah, quite a big figure.
Yeah, Mobius do a lot of figures. They've just done a load of the Batman 66 Batman figures, and they do a lot of very good. Get my words out. Very good figures. They need a little bit of clean up on seam lines. Other than that, they're usually really accurate and good. So,
yeah,
if you like doing your figures, yeah. Although I still say, I do apologise. I've got the right burps tonight. I still say he looks like he's walking off a Hobby Zone storage rack. Yeah.
Yeah, so they are figure painters. And finally for tonight on this Halloween spooktacular, we couldn't do one without Ghostbusters.
I'm finding the siren, but it's like, I love the sound of the Ghostbusters siren. It's such a great sound. It's great. I love it. I won't do that again.
So yeah, so there's Ector 1. I'm not sure. I think we mentioned this a week or two ago that I actually saw one drive past in Windermere. Somebody had a vehicle identical to this, and they'd done it up to be a Ghostbusters lookalike. The satellite dish was a satellite dish that they probably just ripped off the house wall and put that on, and it was it looked pretty good.
Smooth says he'd love to light that up. That would look
that would be brilliant. Yeah.
And Gross Models says, in very British fashion, whom are you going to telephone?
Yeah. Yeah. I could give them a ring, see if I can get them on my on the back phone here. Yeah, but that would look good lit up, wouldn't it?
It's a classic. It's as classic as the DeLorean. It's as classic as a DeLorean.
Yeah.
As the Back to the Future DeLorean.
Yeah, if there's
only a small number of cars in the entire history of movies and TV that are instantly recognizable. You think there'd be a lot more, but there's not. There's only a small number. And obviously Ecto 1 is right up there with, Kit and the DeLorean and other things. So it's one of those cars that's so iconic.
Yeah. If you ever recognise a car, it'll be this one. So that's AMT. I think Polar Lights do one as well, don't they? I'm sure I've seen this as Polar Lights. Yeah.
I don't actually.
But this is 1/25th scale.
Tony Black says that's the Ghostbusters 2 version.
Ah, right. Well,
I don't know the difference.
I don't know the difference either. So, yeah, but that's up. Yeah, brilliant.
I've now got Ghostbusters in my head. Thank you. It's got rid of whatever the hell it was in there that I'm going to forget about.
You mean the monster?
No, I'm not listening.
The monster mash. Right, let's put my camera back and see if I'm in focus when I come back.
Yeah, make sure it's not locked on you still.
All right, stop. Right, I've got to find myself again. I'm out of focus.
Find yourself, Ted.
Yes, I'm out.
A zen moment.
Right, I'll just look at me a minute while I put it back in focus. There we go.
There we go.
Yeah, back with you as well, Fox. Right, I'll get the chat back.
To me, to you.
Right, there's a chat back. Right, Smoking the Bandit. Yeah, there's another car that's always recognisable, isn't it?
Well, yeah. Well, there's the thing, you see. Like Ecto 1, you recognise instantly. Herbie, you recognise instantly. The car from Smoking the Bandit, what was it? I know what it was. It's not so much of a character.
I was mixed up there. The one that sprang to my mind was Dukes of Hazzard.
The General Lee is an iconic car, but the car from Smoking the Bandit, it's just Pontiac Firebird. It's not really. The car isn't really a character.
Yeah, when you said Smoking the Bandit, the one that came into my mind was General Lee.
Was it Trans Am or a Firebird? Trans Am, sorry, not a Firebird. See, it's the point. That's not so much the car's the star there. You see, you sure it wasn't a Firebird? It had a big Firebird on the bonnet.
Batmobile,
or was it an Eagle? I don't know. See, there's the problem. You see.
Yeah, if you know, please send a stamped address postcard to
London Television Centre, BBC, 12 8QT, Wood Lane, London.
Right, TK's off to bed to dream about plants and things and learn his Latin. So good night, TK. Thank you for joining us.
TK. Thanks for popping in and doing a good job.
Yeah, we'll catch up with you in the week, TK. Thank you very much for your help this evening.
Philly says it was a Pontiac Trans Am Firebird.
Beats me. I'm not too up on American cars, apart from the classic ones.
I actually detailed the 1977. What was it? It was it was a Firebird, but it was a Formula something. It was a 1977 one, and it had been in storage. The guy who bought it in 1974, 1977, driven about 4,000 miles, put it in storage, and then sold it about 3 years ago to somebody in the UK. And he got this car, and it 4,000 miles on it. He said, "Will you detail it?" I'm like, yeah. We got there, and there's this car. Everything was factory original. I didn't even know that in the 1970s American cars had catalytic converters on them, but it did. This thing had the white vinyl interior. It had the stripes and it was beautiful. The only car I ever enjoyed detailing was that.
One thing, talking about cars, one thing I discovered this last couple of weeks, some of you know where I work, or used to work, and we were sailing, probably best if I didn't say where it was, but we were sailing the boat anyway up the lake, and we spotted this garage. You can only see it from the lake, so you can't see it from the road, but we spotted a garage next to this rather posh, plush house, and the garage was a glass garage and a glass front on it. So the owner could obviously walk out of his front door and pick which car he wanted from his row of about 5 classic cars, from a classic Jaguar E-Type, an old classic car, right up until one on the end was a James Bond Silver DB5. So that was impressive to see something like that. Maybe not the original, not the proper James Bond car, but it was a silver DB5. No, I don't think it was Chris Evans, but it was certainly looked like his garage.
I've told the story before when I was like 23 or 24. There was a petrol station next to the office where I worked, and they were selling a 1979 Trans Am in perfect condition for £5,000. And I'm like, I've saved up loads of money because I've only been working for about 3. I was only like, what was I, about 21, 22? I've been working for about 3 years. I was like, I've saved up loads of money and I can afford that. I was like, I could have a real Trans Am and it'd be like 800-litre engine and it'd go, and it's in perfect condition because he basically had it factory restored. And I was like, I can afford that. Hello, insurance company. How much would it be to insure me at 23 years old with no real driving experience for a Trans Am? £5,000. I won't buy that car. Thank you. Goodbye. Yeah, that never happened.
Yeah. Well, you say as if, but you'd have got it to the end of the street and it had run out of petrol and you'd have had no money to put petrol in it.
Yeah, but it was like, I can afford £5,000 for the car. I can't also afford £5,000 for the insurance. Nowadays, my insurance is like 35p a year because I'm hundreds of years old. So yeah,
then you drive the world's oldest car.
And I wouldn't mind. It was brown, and brown's supposed to be the cheapest cars to insure. But hazard of being young, you see.
Yeah, well, somebody out there may have wanted to steal a brown Trans Am.
Don't know if there's a lot of market for old cars like that because they're too obvious. But...
right, all right. Which is better, rubber or single plastic tracks on tanks? Says Sharman. Which is better, rubber or single plastic tracks? Plastic metal on tanks, Ted. Right, rubber tracks, nothing wrong with them, especially today's kits. They're a lot better than they were in the 70s, 80s. However, if you do have an option of changing them, I believe the Fruel tracks are better. Is that right? Have I pronounced that right? Fruel?
Who?
Fruel.
Do you know how to spell it?
No, I don't know how to spell it.
F-E-U-I-L by anyone?
Never mind. Yeah, if you can get the metal tracks, it does improve the look of the track immensely because they sag properly. However, if you have like this,
Carl says yes, Fruel.
Yeah. If you have side skirts on a tank like this, doesn't particularly matter because you're not going to see any track sag. Not that tracks should sag anyway, because the mechanic would keep them tightened up. But depending on what standard you want to build at, whether you want to pay the extra cost for the through tracks, they look better. But these days, if you get Tamiya kits with the rubber tracks, not a problem with them.
Yeah, Tony Black says work on rubber tracks and you can make them sag. I remember when I was much younger, there was a tip in a book, and it said if you're using the rubber tracks, just get a really small thin piece of thread, tie it through the track, and tie it around the middle of the bogie or the wheel that's under the road wheel, or the little wheel. I don't know my tanks, the wheel on top, and it'll pull it down to each wheel, and it'll sag it, and you won't see the thread because it's between the track and the wheel.
Yeah,
so you can make the rubber ones look great.
And if you have to do the right weathering and such on the tracks, they just look as good as the metal ones. So it depends whether how much you want to spend, how much you want to work on them. So
at the end of the day, once they're covered in primer and paint, they all look kind of the same anyway.
Yeah, and usually with metal tracks, you try to burnish them down, and you're going to weather them just the same. Yeah. So yeah, looks right.
Questions coming, folks. Keep your questions coming.
Yep. In the meantime, should we do the giveaway?
Yes, we need to do last week's giveaways.
The giveaways. Right.
As we say each week, last week we did the giveaway. We had 2 last week, believe it or not.
2. Yeah, the four ran last week.
Yep. We asked he who must be obeyed. No, we didn't. We asked you guys to put a comment on last week's live stream video. One was "Beam Me Up, Scotty," if I remember rightly.
Yeah, that was for yeah, we're giving. I've lost the links to what they were. We were giving away a model.
There was a half track of some sort. I think it was the American one, wasn't it?
No, it was the Israeli Defense Force.
I thought it was a half track.
It was a half track. Yeah.
Okay, there was a half track.
And there was the model of the Enterprise as well, wasn't
there? Enterprise with Botany Bay.
Botany Bay.
Botany Bay.
Sounds like somewhere you go on your holidays.
Botany Bay.
Right, so
damn, you've got to get out of here.
Right, so here's my system with the.
Yes. Now what we do is when we do these ones, we do them over the week. We let you do the comments all week, so people who don't watch this live can take part. Then before the show, each Monday, we will use a third-party comment picker that picks random comments off YouTube, and that will randomly pick our 2 winners. And I won't do a drum roll on the desk because my microphone will make it really loud, but I'll go first for the first one. The half track first, Ted.
The half track first.
What was the phrase again for that one? I forgot.
The phrase was "Damn it, Jim." I know that
damn it, Jim.
Some people entered twice, but that's not a problem.
Yeah,
we sorted it out. And the random name picker thingy, whatever is what's it? Yeah, the random name picker picked the name of Andrew Henderson. Right, if you're watching, Andrew, let us know your details. Yep. So
congratulations.
Congratulations.
Send a mail to ted@emodels.co.uk.
Yeah, I'll put it in the thingy
description. Not in the chat.
Not in the chat. In the description below.
I'll put it in the chat in case he's in the chat. I don't think he is, but
yeah. So Andrew, congratulations. I'll send us your details. We just need your name and address, and we'll send it off to you.
Yep. So that is yours. That will be on its way to you as soon as we know where we're sending it.
And secondly, remember we had a giveaway that we were going to give away. Then Pete said, "No, give this away instead." We give that away, and then he said, "Give that away as well." So
yeah, you got a 2 for last week.
Yeah, are you with me? Are you keeping up? Yeah. So we give 2 away, and the second one was the Enterprise with the Botany Bay.
And it's a 2 for 2 because it's not just the second prize; it's also 2 ships. You get the Enterprise and little tiny Botany Bay. Botany Bay.
Botany Bay. So, and
I shall chase him round the flames of Nibia and through perdition's flames. I know all the lines. This is my favourite film of all time, is The Wrath of Khan. I know it's not from The Wrath of Khan, it's from the Space Seed episode, but shut up. Carry on, Ted.
Right, yeah, I've lost yeah.
I went sci-fi and you didn't know.
Yeah, but don't worry, you're not a runner-up. It's not a runner-up. The 2 first prizes. These are 2 first prizes. So the winner of the Enterprise with the
Botany Bay.
Botany Bay. You're putting me off.
North Lancashire, really crap
I can turn your microphone off, you know.
There's actually a shopping centre called Botany Bay. In the old days, you used to have to pay to get in. Terrible.
Is that the one you pass on the motorway into Manchester?
Yeah, if you go up north, it's on the way to Leyland and stuff. And it's like, in the old days, you seriously had to pay to get. It's like an old mill, and they said, we're going to make it all shops and stalls, but you have to pay to get in. And I was like, nah.
Yeah.
How about not paying to get into your shop?
That's the one that has what seems to be, from the motorway side, a garage with a big camouflage net over it.
I think so.
Yeah,
it looks like it was last kind of given a paint job in like 1983, and the TV ads were like 1983, and everybody outside the UK is like, I don't know what you two are talking about.
Yeah, that's how you know you're getting close to Manchester, when you pass Botany Bay.
Botany Bay.
Right. Anyway, yes. The winner.
Stop digressing, Ted.
The winner of this kit will be wanting to know who he is. And it is Simon Master. Yeah, it sounds the right name, doesn't it, to win a Botany Bake?
Yeah, to win that, or to be in an episode of Magnum, maybe.
Yeah.
Simon Master. So well done, Simon.
Well done, Simon. Yep. So, will you too send your details to ted@emodels.co.uk?
Yes.
I'll forward them off to Pete Mate. I'll get them.
Pete Mate will post them, mate. Postmate. Then Mr. Postman, Postmate will give them to you in your hand, and you will go, woo. And then remember, when you've done them and built them and painted them and weathered them and treated them like your children, stick a picture up on the eModels Facebook page so we can have a look.
Yeah, that reminds us, it's almost time to pick a winner from the gallery. It
is. We need to do that. When is that? Tomorrow? No.
It's the 30th tomorrow. Yeah, the last day.
31st tomorrow, isn't it?
Yeah, 31st tomorrow, last day. Then on the 1st, we'll have a look and we'll pick a winner.
So me and you need to get together maybe tomorrow then, Tedward.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure. Yeah.
So just to remind the folks, if you're not familiar with this, if you go to emodels.co.uk/gallery, there is a gallery on the website where you can upload wonderful pictures of your completed builds. One picture per build, please, but as many builds as you like. And you can rate other people's builds. If you've not done it already, go online, go to emodels/gallery, upload a picture of your build or builds, rate some people's stuff. What Ted and I will be doing probably tomorrow is we will go through and we will pick our favourite, not a favourite, but we'll pick the one that we sort of think is most awesome. Well, it's hard to say it without sounding critical of everybody else. The one we like the most at that particular point, we'll say, that's brilliant, we like that one. That 5-star rated one will win the recently released Tamiya 1/32.
Okay. It's a Corsair, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the Corsair. The recent retooling and re-release of the 1/32, I think.
Yeah, it's
Corsair
big.
plane.
Yeah, it's big.
All the photo etch parts and stuff. And we will announce that on the 1st of November. So you've got until, well, the rest of tonight and maybe tomorrow morning to get your picture uploaded and hope people give you lots of ratings.
When are we going to announce that? Are we going to announce it on the live stream, or are we
I don't know. I think
we'll have to work out with Pete Mate what he wants us to do.
Yeah. I love how we're planning it right at the last minute.
Yeah, we've got this far. It's been going that long, and we've still haven't worked out how to find a winner. Right, yeah.
Robert Blaylock says, my son asked what Star Trek is. He's now up for adoption.
Even I know what Star Trek is.
Yeah, Tony Black says, damn, I've got the Vision On music in my head now. Showing your age there, Tony. Showing your age, seriously.
Yeah, that was good. That was even before the age of Smurf, wasn't it? Morph, not Smurf, Morph.
Vision On, yeah, it's going a long way back.
Yeah.
I said gallery, yeah, you see.
Tony Hart.
Wait, Vision On, wow, that's before it was
Morph.
No, what was the program? It was the series wasn't called that. It was like, what was it actually called? When it wasn't Vision On, it was called like Tony Hart or something. It was called Tony Hart, wasn't it?
What was it? Vision On? What was the problem? What was the problem? Yeah, the people
Vision On, going back to black and white TV. We lost the non-UK audience again, haven't we?
Yeah, Take Heart.
Take Heart. That's it.
That's it. Yes. See, you just need to. We don't need Google. We just need these people in chat.
Well, you know the worst thing? Now I've got the gallery music in my head. Oh, madre mia.
Yeah, earworms tonight. It is a mash. It is a monster mash. No monster mash. It's a graveyard smash.
No, that's not going in there. I've got the gallery music now. It's not coming out. A bit of Spanish Flea, like I say, gets any earworm out of there. So well done to our two winners. Yes, go along to the gallery, get your pics uploaded, get rating people. and we'll pick the 5-star one we like the most, and that person will win that beautiful, I think it's 1/32 scale, I could be wrong, Tamiya Corsair model with all the photo etch and all the extra bits and bobs.
Yeah, and although we can't return your art, we do give a prize for everyone, we're sure.
Yes, that's the old, just to yeah. That's the Tony Hart line, that's not us.
Yeah.
It's all British TV.
Yeah. What was it?
It was also called Heartbeat at one point as well, I think.
What was the address for Television Centre?
London Television Centre. No, BBC Television Centre, Wood Lane, London, W12 8QT.
Yeah. For every entry, we'll receive a Blue Peter badge.
Yes, and Pebble Mill was Pebble Mill, London Television Centre, somewhere else. Another postcode. My kids won't believe we only had 3 channels, says Stuart Bellingham.
Tony Black says there was a program on the radio recently about Take Heart and such. They used to dump all the artwork in a skip.
Of course they did. Of course they did. I actually had, this is going to sound like me blowing my own trumpet, I actually had some artwork exhibited at the Royal Academy once.
Ooh.
But it's not that glamorous. Basically, some guy started a charity thing where you did lots of artwork, and then the winners would win something. I don't know what it was. So I did some artwork and submitted. It was all over the country, and they would all be displayed in the Royal Academy. The Royal Academy of Arts in London. It's a prestigious thing. The downside was, first of all, he was a complete con man and ran off with all the money. So it was a complete swindle anyway. And all these people, I think it was up to 18 you could be. So I was only like 13 or 14. They got their artwork exhibited in the Royal Academy, but it was under the stairs in a corridor round the back somewhere in a spare bit of corridor. It wasn't anything to do with the actual Royal Academy.
Nobody ever saw it
with all the money. So I can legitimately say I have had something I've drawn exhibited at the Royal Academy. It's just not as glamorous when you peel away in here.
Probably what it was, he slipped the security guard a $5 and said, "Can you hang these on that wall?"
Just dump these on, because we went to see it and I was like, look at my artwork. And of course I never got that back. That just got dumped in a skip. But I wonder if it's somebody somewhere on this planet right now has that piece of artwork that I drew. It was a fake comic book cover.
It's gone somewhere. Right, what else is going? Yeah, I remember the time. Yeah, there was 3 channels on BB on the. There was 3 TV channels, and then at 11 o'clock, we're now closing down for the evening.
Yep. But you know what? Everybody remembers the national anthem was the BBC close down music. But what a lot of people don't, or in the UK, will have never heard, if they didn't live in the northwest of England, was the Granada close down music, and that was the best piece of music written ever. I managed to find it and download it many years ago. I've got it, and it's one of my favorite pieces of music. The opening one was very long, and the close down one, written by Keith Mansfield, a legendary TV theme tune writer. Best piece of music ever. Because when you come off from this live stream, go on YouTube and look at Granada TV close down theme.
Oh, I'll do that.
Trust me, you'll love it. From the 1980s. Love it.
You think we could use it in an eModels video?
No, it's copyrighted and everything. No. Keith Mansfield's still alive and he still writes music, so probably not.
Probably not then. No.
He's nearly dead yet.
Question coming in for you, Fox.
Swap Shop's mobile number 0800 855 855. No.
Was it?
0800 085 855, I think. I was more of a Tiswas and ITV number 72.
I like Swap Shop for the people that it was almost equivalent today. I have a plastic Action Man. I'd like to swap it for a 42-inch plasma TV, please.
Yeah, except not plasma TV in 1979.
Yeah, they'd be the equivalent, wouldn't it? Yeah.
It was, but because I was never one for watching the BBC. Because to me, BBC kids programs on Saturdays were like for the wimpy middle classes. We were northern lads, and we watched Tiswas with Sally James or the Phantom Flanflinger, and then we had number 72. There you go. 018118055. There you go.
That's it. Yeah, it comes straight back now, doesn't it? Yeah. Hang on, I'll just see if it's 01. Yeah.
If you get Sally James, it's gone wrong.
Yeah.
But I'll say hello.
Sorry. Yeah. Okay. Bye. Yeah. Noel Edmonds is not available.
Thank God.
Yeah.
But I'll go for box 25.
Yeah.
See, everybody who's not in the UK or wasn't around in the 1980s, they don't have a clue what we're talking about. And obviously the chat is joining in with me and Ted's conversation. A lot of the people in the chat are kind of our age and know all about these things. But there's a lot of people that be going, what are they talking about? And guys, you lived in the worst, you missed the best 2 decades for kids' TV in the late 70s and through the 1980s. You missed the best children's TV on Saturdays.
Oh, there's another one coming in from Smooth's Workshop, Michael Bentine's Potty Time.
Yeah.
Do you remember that? That was brilliant.
Tiswas and the Dying Fly. See, Saturday morning, when you grew up in the 1970s and 80s, Saturday morning was up north here in North. It was, you get up on Saturday. This was my Saturday morning routine when from I was about 6 years old up to about, I don't know, 17 or something. Get up on a Saturday morning. You watch, in the old days, it was Tiswas, and then it became number 72. You didn't watch all that rubbish on BBC with Noel Edmonds. That was just for silly people. Then you didn't really watch World of Sport. I didn't really watch World of Sport because I wasn't into sport, but I always watched the wrestling because they had wrestling at the end.
You can always watch it. Now grapple fans.
Dickie Davis, there we go, grapple fans.
Yeah, we go, grapple fans.
Yeah, this isn't this nonsense American fake wrestling rubbish where they all pose and they have story.
Live from Newport Town Hall.
Live from New Brighton beachfront. It was 2 middle-aged fat blokes throwing each other about in the ring properly, like giant haystacks and big. It was proper. People get hurt wrestling. It's namby-pamby American.
There was no roaring wild wolf. It was Mick McManus.
Yeah, Mick McManus, Big Daddy. Giant haystacks. There was a guy called Kent Nagano or something like that. There's some kind of name like that. They were just like big, burly ex-miners, probably, and they were just big, sweaty blokes that just beat each other up, literally. And kids loved it. So you watch that, and if that wasn't good enough, and I'm only like 7 or 8 years old, then you had things like the A-Team, Knight Rider, Street Hawk, all those kind of like awesome programs that we look back on. That was Saturday morning TV for me in the North in the 1980s. Nowadays, you look at Saturday morning TV for kids, and it's just nonsense. And somebody just mentioned Dog Tanyan. Chris mentioned Dog Tanyan. And it was Kendo Nagasaki. That was it.
Kendo Nagasaki. He had the mask on, and all the he turned out to be a good guy, didn't he? Yeah, because everybody was trying to rip his mask off, and he could never get it off. No matter how much wrestling they did. But
these kids now, with the nonsense, poncy, rubbish TV. No, if you could time travel back to TV in the 1980s, when you're 10 or 11 years old, A-Team and Knight Rider, and even Street Hawk was the best thing ever. And Airwolf. Street Hawk was brilliant when you were 11 years old. You watch it now, it's terrible. But when you're 11 years old, Street Hawk was brilliant.
Yeah.
And Manimal. Even Manimal was all right when you were like 11.
You went outside and you tried to recreate it, didn't you, in the back street?
Yeah. And at least somebody watching this now or in the chat is going, "Oh my God, Manimal! I've forgotten about that." Jesus.
All the wrestling names are coming out. Jackie Pallo.
Jackie Pallo.
Who else was the guy?
So 70s and 80s TV for kids was brilliant. None of this nonsense you get nowadays. All this focus grouped rubbish. There you go. Mr. Ben and Trumpton. There you go. Airwolf.
I know. What was it? Mr. Ben and from the shopkeeper appeared.
As if by magic.
As if by magic.
Lord Barkley III to me says, "Fox, this is why your mum is watching, to make sure you keep off the phone and ring up the phone bill." $64 million man. There you go.
Yeah, brilliant. Yeah, they're all there. Yeah, TV's just not the same today.
No, it's just rubbish now.
Yeah, it's all mamby-pamby, and it ends with if you have any issues with items raised in today's program, just telephone this number.
Yeah, it's all like nonsense cartoons, like your Ben 10 or all that rubbish and stuff.
Mr. Ben and
Mary Mungo and Midge.
Danger Mouse.
There's an old one.
Danger Mouse is good. Yeah,
Danger Mouse is brilliant. Did you watch? Have you had occasion to watch the new Danger Mouse that came out? I think last year.
No, I think I caught half an episode of it. I didn't really take much.
Brilliant. It is better than the original. I hate to say this. If you watch original Danger Mouse now, it is awful. It's terrible. But if you watch the stuff that came out, I think last year or the year before, it's really, really good. If you've not watched it, go and watch the new Danger Mouse. The humor's great and it's fantastic. My dad used to know Brian Cosgrove and I can never remember Peter Hall. No, not Peter Hall. Roger Hall, Cosgrove and Hall. Many years ago, I used to work with them. So I got to do I got like a special he arranged for me to get shown around Cosgrove Hall when I was about 13 or 14 years old. So I got like just me on my own, got to go in, and they were all kind of showing me around, and fond memories. I met the guy that drew Beryl the Peril. He worked there. He liked the way I drew hands, apparently. Very good hands.
Yeah, yeah. There's lots of people coming up now with all sorts of kids programs that they watch.
Dad's Army, best program ever made ever.
I've got the full set. Dad's Army, brilliant. Take that man's name. Yeah, like, Dr. Pike. Yeah.
The Wrath of Khan is the best movie ever made, and Dad's Army is the best TV series ever made.
In Aid Half Up Mum, yeah, there's reasons why they don't show that now. But,
yes.
Right.
Anyway, so we're doing a giveaway, Ted.
Hang on a moment.
We're doing something. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Before we start reminiscing about the 80s too much, and half the audience go, "I don't know what you're talking about." They've got used to fast forwarding to the bit where we talk about the 1980s, I think.
Right. Yeah. What is porridge? Yeah, there's a new porridge out, isn't there?
I didn't like porridge when I was a kid. Wasn't into porridge. Robert Blaylock says, "My wife knows all about these early BBC shows, but I might as well be listening to Fox's Pig Latin." Otchway with the old way Shay. I can't do it. Go and watch the old shows. Don't tell him, Pike.
Don't tell. Yeah, what's your name? That man's name. Don't tell him, Pike.
Yeah. That's going on the list.
Sorry, my phone just buzzed. It put me off.
I don't know. So yeah, Roger Ramjet. God.
I don't remember that.
Keen on those kind of cartoons when I was a kid. The Roger Ram. They were a bit pants even to me as an 11-year-old. I'm like, they're a bit rubbish. I didn't mind Batfink. Batfink was all right because it was silly. I didn't like Roger Ramjet.
No, I don't remember that.
No, it was an American. I can't remember the guy that produced them. It was a particular type of. Oh, hello. Hello.
Hello. Hi, Pete. How are you? You've just got back from the pub. I understand. Yes.
Is he telling you he loves you because he's been in the pub?
Yeah. He loves you as well, Fox.
Are we his best mates?
We're his bestest friends.
Best mates.
Yeah, mates for you. Yeah. Oh, thank you very much. Really, that much? All of it? No, we won't. No, we won't. Yeah.
I don't know how you get rid of a traffic cone. Tell him. I've told him that before.
Yeah. That policeman outside. Yeah. You just turn the lights out and hide behind the sofa. Yeah. Okay. Thanks, Pete. Bye. Yep. Yeah. Pete's back from the pub, and he said we could have a giveaway.
Oh, I thought he maybe just butt dialed us by mistake or something.
Yeah. Cool. Yes. So we've arranged with him a giveaway, and it's a spooktacular giveaway. I think he's been on a Halloween night. That's where he's been. Yeah. So
has he been having one for himself and one for the yacht hair? And he's been over the yard arm now, is he? He's gone for a lie down. But he's take the mick out of his yacht hair. I don't even know what yacht hair is. It sounds great.
He used to have a yacht.
It's kind of hair that goes. Looks like you stand on a yacht all day in the sun.
Yeah. So,
I don't really think he's got yacht hair. It's just. What are we doing, Tedward?
We're going to have a giveaway. Let's have a giveaway. Let's have a giveaway of what we looked at earlier on. Shall we do that?
Okay. I forgot what that was.
Should we keep it in? Keep it
lock
in
it on you.
Lock it on me.
Right. Last week you were looking at me and I'm thinking, I'm not the prize. Trust me, I'm definitely not the prize.
Right, we're going to give away.
Don't press the wrong button.
That's it. Can you see that? We're going to give away.
Cool.
We're going to. So if you get this, have a go at lighting it as well. Right, we'll have to think of a theme. I tell you what. At the end of the show, you can comment underneath the video in the comment section, and the comment this week will be who you're going to call.
Who you going to call?
Who are you going to call?
Yes, don't comment in the chat now. When we finish this stream and we press stop streaming so Fox can go and have a wee and a fag and Ted can go and have a lie down and a gin. After about 5 to 10 minutes, the video should, the video should go up on the YouTube channel. So about 10 to 15 minutes after the stream, go up onto the YouTube channel, find this video. What's it called tonight, Ted? Don't be scared. It's only Ted and Fox, I think.
Yeah. That's it. Yeah, so you've remembered it. I haven't.
Find that video and just add the comment who you're going to call. We're not bothered about spelling or anything like that, as long as it just says, you know, something along the lines of who you're going to call. Put the comment on there, and we will pull the winner next Monday. If you're not watching this live, you can still enter because you've got up until next Monday, which is just before my new Xbox One X arrives.
So we won't be seeing
that in there for no reason. So. I hope you're not moving next week, Ted, because I can't do the thing on my own because I'll be playing on it.
Yeah, if I don't appear next week, I've moved.
If Ted moves and my Xbox turns up and you're doing the stream, sorry about that. Yeah. So yes, so get your comment on there. Who are you going to call? Anytime between now and next Monday. If you're not watching live, go and put a comment on. You can still win, and we'll randomly pick a winner next Monday. That gives
everybody a chance to take part.
Yeah, we like to make sure people who don't watch live.
Yeah, but we do a usual live giveaway.
Shaman Adrian says, "Fox, you sound like you're stroking a cat." I don't understand what that means.
Uni Roy says he'll call Tedward Big Skipperton. Good lad. Yes.
I think I was doing that with my hands, but it's because we're giving the stuff away, and I'm like, yes,
yeah,
the way. I'm excited again now, and he's not even mentioned Gunpla. So
yeah, Chris Smith said he was going to buy that after the show.
Oh, good. So, well,
yeah. Well,
Casey, do you go and buy it, or do you hope that you might win it?
Or do you wait? Do you wait? Did you wait till I do it on purpose now.
What were you going to say, Tedward?
Don't forget, you can wait till eModels. Well, you don't have to wait till eModels Black Friday deals. There's a Black Friday deal coming up, isn't there? Somewhere in November.
Yeah, some point in November. I've forgotten the date completely because I'm not American, but
yeah, because I looked it up, I forgot.
Yes, there will be. Go and check it on the Facebook page. We are doing a load of Black Friday deals on. I think it's the 14th or something. I can't remember when it is. It's just after I got my new Xbox, basically. So I'm only saying this a lot now, so people realise if I'm not around for about a week, you know where I am. I'll be doing this.
Right.
I was going to say something else. What was I going to say? Frankie Goes to Hobbywood says, how long will it take to see my uploaded picture on the eModels page gallery? Me, Ted, Pete, or Gav literally go into the back end and say, yes, it's not porn, approved. Yeah. So as soon as we go in and say, yes, it's approved, it won't appear straight. If you upload a picture, it won't upload because it'll go into the pending queue. We have to go in and manually check every single picture. So it won't appear straight away. I'll probably go in and have a look after this stream anyway. I try and remember to go in every now and then and check. And the same for reviews. When you do a review, it won't go live until we've double checked it and made sure it's not rude or anything like that. Raging Bassist says, Fox, are you getting the new Xbox by any chance? No.
Has you mentioned he's getting a new Xbox?
I am.
Is there a new release? Are we not going to see you for the next fortnight?
Yeah, I'm going to absolutely loving all this 4K rendition of graphics on my 1080p.
Will there be constant calls to Pizza Hut for home deliveries?
Yeah. The thing is, I can't afford to get the console and a 4K TV, so I'm just going to have to use the 1080p TV, but it'll still be fine. I'm just looking forward to faster, more reliable games, basically.
Yeah,
at least for now.
As long as you're not streaming it through your phone, you've had to sell everything just to buy the Xbox.
No, it's the wonders of Argos. It's brilliant. I love Argos. And Argos love me because I've kept them in business for like the last 25 years.
And it wasn't a drunken purchase like no one normally does on eBay or something like that. You press the button.
No, it was like, you can pre-order now. I already have.
Yeah, I bought a tank. Well, that's all right, darling. You've bought a kit. It doesn't matter. You can have another kit. No, it's a real one. Yeah.
Philip Rhodes says, Fox, how about the Hobby Boss 118th Focke-Wulf 190 fighter kit? I'd love to see you weather an aircraft. Do a deal with eModels. The deal will be, hey, Pete, send me the model and I'll paint it. It's a nice deal. However, I am having thoughts in the brain. There's not much there. I'd have some thoughts. I am having thoughts in here. I have been playing recently on the Xbox, Medal of Honor Airborne, which I played many years ago, and it's just free on Xbox Live, so I got it, and I'm like, oh, I've forgotten this game. It's brilliant. And it got me thinking at some point I probably should do a Dakota.
Yeah.
A proper D-Day invasion, airborne, 101st Airborne, 82nd PIR.
Yeah.
Was it a DC?
DC, no, was it DC-9?
DC-9? I can't remember now. I always call it a Dakota. whatever that one was, proper invasion stripes and green, and I might, because there are a couple of 148 kits of that, so I might have to do one of those. You could do
a couple of holes in the wings where it's taking some shrapnel hits and some nice weathering and things like that.
I mean, I might even do it as a little bit weathered.
DC3 says Tony Black.
Yeah, DC3. Philip Rose says, saw you play Dakota. Zzz. I like Dakotas. They're kind of cool.
Yeah.
I also need to do a YU52, but I've mentioned that before.
Right. Yeah. Who was it that asked about the pictures before on the gallery? Go and have a look. They're up now.
Have you just done it?
As if by magic.
Were you doing back office stuff while we were talking?
I'm not telling you.
I'm multitasking.
Yeah. Go and have a look. Your picture will be up there.
47 says Philip Rhodes. Tony Black says DC3. I don't know now. I'm confused.
Yeah. Yeah, a Dakota.
Yeah, Zadster says Dakota are the UK made versions. Scott Sullivan says the Airfix in Dakota is really good.
Yeah, and the eModels Black Friday's on the 24th.
24th of November is.
No, yes, of all the Novembers. So look out.
And I'm going to guess it's a Friday.
I remember. Do you remember the last time it was Black Friday? I think we actually went down to eModels.
Was that on the Black Friday? When you took your big tank and I took me all the other things?
No, I think we went down to eModels and Pete wasn't there. Remember?
Yeah, I didn't realise that was Black Friday.
Yeah, because
you took your big tank and I took my striker and my other things.
No, I think that was a different time. We went there for some reason. It was Black Friday because they were run off the feet. That was it.
That's right.
It was just before Black Friday. That was it, and they were busy. So
yes.
Get your stuff planned because the guys are going to be busy getting your Black Friday deals out for you.
Yes.
Yeah, right.
Marketing your diary of diaries, or phone, I like to call it nowadays.
Yep, big lots of great deals going for that. Right. I think we better do a mug giveaway.
Yeah, why not?
The eModels mug.
I put mine over here for lack of space.
eModels for the scale model enthusiast. If you'd like a mug.
Für den Scale Model Enthusiast gefahren mit.
Yeah, if you'd like a mug and you already have a mug, you are quite welcome to take part again.
Yes.
Yes.
If you don't want another, if you've got a mug and you don't want another one though, don't put an answer down because then it takes the chance away from somebody else to win. So if you've got one, you don't want another one, don't join in. If you want another one, you're more than welcome.
Yeah. And it's simple. It's a simple live giveaway, and it's a simple question. Sometimes you need to have been watching the chat and taking notes, and sometimes you may know a little question that come off the top of your head, and sometimes it might be something that we've just mentioned, and have you remembered what we talked about? I think
it can be just something completely random.
Yeah, I've got a question. Should I do a question? Right, and you can't answer it until we say go. Remember?
Wait till Ted says go.
Wait till we say go.
The first comment we see with the right answer, remember, like we said at the start, we see the chat differently. We see it actually live. You guys see it delayed. So don't panic that your answer doesn't come straight away.
Yeah.
We see it when it actually appears. So we'll get the first one put through.
Right. The question.
Ted, what we should do is we should ask the question, then give it 20 seconds and then say go. That gives everybody a chance to catch up before you put the answer in.
Yeah.
And it's not Snoopy. I hope it's not Snoopy. Mike Mountain says cheese, and Scott Sutherland says beef.
But the question really is the draw sets behind Fox. Who makes them? Who makes the draw sets?
If the camera could actually zoom in, it just actually could pick out the logo, you'd see that and it'd be a clue. We mentioned it a couple of times.
So
we can put the link in the chat.
Yeah. Remember, yeah, it's the first one that we see. Hobby's On says Smoo.
Yeah, that's a winner then.
That's the winner. Well done, Smoo. You've got yourself a mug. Well done. You know where to send your details to ted@emodels.co.uk and we'll get a mug sent off to you.
Yes, you know the address, Smoo. ted@emodels. I can't say Ted without starting to affect an Irish accent, thanks to the fact show. ted@emodels.co.uk.
Yeah. Well done, Smoo.
What was that for, a mug?
Yeah, it was for the mug. Yes. Yeah. So brilliant. We've had a giveaway. We've had a mug, and I think we've had a good time. We've been going again for nearly 2 hours. These live streams are getting longer and longer. I'm going to have to put it through.
I think it's because we suddenly decide to go into the past, and then it just becomes two old blokes and a crowd of other old blokes in the pub reminiscing about how things were better when they were kids.
Yeah, when we were a kid, we were a lot better when we were a kid.
Yeah, kids nowadays don't have a clue. Get off my lawn.
Never know they were born. They haven't had it so good. In our day, we had to sleep in a box and go to school with no shoes on.
Smooth says, "I've won a cup, OMFG, thanks." Whoop. That's this is go on, Ted.
Yeah, these cups they make you drink better.
Yes, especially if it's got coffee and not rubbish tea. Michael Jackerman says it's getting longer every week. I'd see a doctor about that.
Yeah,
you can get pills for it apparently.
Yes, yeah, just don't rub.
Raging Basis says, "I'm 35. Am I officially old? What's that? A date of birth? Then that's 1981.
I was at work.
You're on the cusp.
I was at work.
I had when okay, Raging Basis. When you were 9 years old, I left school with my A-levels and went to get a job.
Yeah.
All right, you're on the cusp of the old crowd. Or a bit of the 1980s, so you would have
81, right? I was,
if you're in the UK, you would have seen things like Dogtanian and Belle and Sebastian and the Cities of Gold and Golden the Gopher. So you probably would have seen that if you're in the UK. So yeah, we'll say you're old. You could qualify talking about 1980s children's TV. I'd finished my apprenticeship, so I was well into my first job. Oh gosh, never mind. Philip Rowe says, "I'm 52 and I hate it." It's not a bad age that at all, Philip.
Yeah.
Ted's 75. He loves it.
Yeah, I love it
because he doesn't remember much after about an hour, so he's fine. Everything's brilliant to Ted.
Yeah, it's like I have to run the live stream back to the start to see what I was saying an hour ago.
Yeah. If Ted starts going about buzz bombs and the blitz, we have to go and let him lie down for a bit. He just lapses, you know what I mean?
Who are you again?
I don't know. Zadster says, "Fortunately, you missed Champion the Wonder Horse." Oh
no, I remember Champion.
Oh, no. It's like that and Heidi were just. Why did the BBC show those?
Oh, the other one, the worst.
Why do I do this to myself, Ted? I've got the Heidi theme in my head now.
I tell you, another one I'm going to put in your head now is White Horses. I don't know what that was. It was French. It was dubbed.
Wait, is that the kind of same era as the ringing, singing tree and things like that? I don't know.
It was the same era as Robinson Crusoe.
No, you're going back into the 15th century now. I don't.
I'm going back
into the dark days of black and white.
I'm going back into the days when we lived in black and white. Everything was black and white.
Yeah, it wasn't the telly black and white. The telly was full colours. Everything else was black and white.
Yeah.
Yeah, so at 35, I think Raging Basis classes as he would qualify as talking at least about the 1980s, so he's half in.
And Smooth's quite made up. He's won something. We're easily pleased, and is the eModels cup vodka proof? Well, it's certainly gin proof.
It'd be fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
Definitely Lass says there was an old show airing here in Sweden when I was a kid called Catweazle or something similar.
Yeah, I remember that.
It was British series, wasn't it? Catweazle.
Yeah, Catweazle. It was. Can't remember his name. Lived in the water tank, didn't he? And had.
Yes. It wasn't Pertwee, was it? Oh no, that was Wurzel Gummidge.
Guy from the Middle Ages who ended up in the 1970s. Yes, that was Catweazle. Can't remember the actor's name.
No. I always get it mixed up with Wurzel Gummidge. Magpie. There you go.
Magpie. No, it wasn't John Pertwee. He was what was it? It was the Scarecrow, wasn't he? It wasn't Catweazle.
Wurzel Gummidge. That's what I just said.
Yeah.
I told you his memory goes, you see. I've just said it literally 30 seconds ago.
Yeah, it was a telling moan. Yes, rang people on a telling moan. Just like that one.
Catweazle was also a wrestler in the 1980s. See, it all comes back, doesn't it? It all returns.
It's flooding back. It's as though we were there. Right.
Splits, Doctor Who. Wasn't going yet.
Right, I'll have to go and Google who was Catweazle. I don't think the guy's alive now, unfortunately.
Oh no, and Lynn Dipple's just turned up. Hey, Lynn.
Hi, Lynn.
You've done the TK and just turned up right at the
end. We've been here 2 hours, Lynn.
Oh no, Super Gran. Oh, Super Gran, that was great.
I don't remember that one.
That was it. It was slightly Scottish.
Jeffrey.
It was like a live action version of the kind of Banana Man style thing. I think.
Jeffrey Bladen said they got a very good memory. Or
Jeffrey Belden.
Yeah.
That's him.
That's it. Right.
Banana Man.
2 hours. We're going to go on for hours. We'll be here at midnight, and Trains, planes, boats. Oh, right, that was no trains, boats, and
Craig
planes.
Charles, really? Wow, that would have been 1990s then, I reckon.
Yeah, there was one before him with that. What was that old guy called with a beard? Did steam trains?
Oh, I don't. Not the one with the little round glasses, and he often did engineering stuff as well.
Yeah, he was a really good engineer.
Yeah, I can't remember his name. I know who you mean now. He was an inventor, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Raging Bassist says Woof, and I seem to remember a series called Woof on ITV. Metal Mickey. Oh my god, that was terrible. oh, for some reason I've also remembered Children of the Dog Star.
Yeah, it sounds like we're going to be a free. Who's getting the next round in? Whose round is it?
Yeah, we can't. The talk isn't free. One of you has to get to the bar and get all the ales in.
No, it was a friend. Bob Symes. Bob
Yeah.
Symes, that's him. Yeah, Fred Dibney was a fantastic builder. Well,
you like that?
Demolish. Do you like that?
Carl says Banana Man lived at 29 Acacia Road.
No, but I was at work then. Banana Man, too old for that. Fred Dibney.
It was narrated by Graham Garden. It was instantly good.
Yeah, it was from the good.
Graham Garden makes everything better.
Yeah. Bob Symes was an Austrian aristocrat. Bizarre but true.
Yeah, one of my favourite presenters when I was a kid on TV was Professor Heinz Wolf.
Yeah,
Great egg race.
From the egg race, yeah.
Because he was a proper German scientist. It's like, brilliant, he's German and he's a scientist. This is brilliant. We're going to build this now. Yeah, it's
yeah, it's brilliant that. Yeah, somebody said to me, do you watch the Great Egg Race? Oh, what are you on about? I watched it. I was hooked.
I should let all the viewers know I do have a massive collection of 1970s and 80s TV theme tunes. And I love these.
Yeah.
Rent a Ghost.
Yeah, but that was only good in the first series, Rent a Ghost.
It got a bit rubbish towards the end.
Yeah, like, as in all BBC programmes. Yeah,
I've got the tune, I can't remember the words though. Rent a Ghost.
Yeah.
Now. The goodies. Oh, the goodies.
Oh, yeah.
Goodies.
Yeah, goody, yum, yum. It was a bit like
he would show the goodies at some point, and they keep saying they will, and they never do. And even the guys themselves have said, "Why don't they want to show our series?" If you can find any of the goodies episodes online, watch them. They are brilliant.
Yeah. Right, we could go on about. We could go on.
Yes, we should not.
Yeah, I think we'll carry on this next week. So take note where we're up to, and we'll carry on the conversation next week.
Yeah, prepare your lists of 1980s and 70s TV shows and other. British societal norms in the 70s and 80s. If you're outside the UK, just wonder at the marvels of what the history of a country.
Yeah, you can Google everything we've talked about tonight, and it'll be there forever.
We'll talk about, like, crispy finders pancakes and
swing
ball and things like that. We'll talk about
you wish you'd lived in the UK.
Yeah, it was the best time to be living in the UK and be a kid was then.
Yeah, maybe next week we should do nostalgia, something in store. We'll try and look up nostalgia.
We do it every week, Ted. We do nostalgia every week. people wouldn't know this was a model making stream if they actually just came in after. They'd be like, "What am I watching?" Welcome to the eModels web stream, where we talk about nostalgia and old and 1970s TV. Yeah, I would say if you do watch this when it's live, but you're not in the chat, you are seriously missing out, because a lot of what we talk about is coming off the back of what chat are talking about. So if you do watch this, say on the YouTube, on the eModels website, on the page, or anywhere else that's not literally on the YouTube page, do go to the bottom of the screen where I'm pointing now. Yeah. I think on that side, this side.
You said
hit the little YouTube button and go to the YouTube page where the chat is, and you can join it. You're missing out quite a bit on the chat. Kind of drives us. So if you're able to, might not work on iPads and iPhones and other mobile devices, but if you're able to watch this on the YouTube, because you're missing out on a load of nonsense in the chat.
Yeah, but that's what it is. We try to centre this chat around sort of model making, and
but it never works.
Yeah, it never works. Yeah, we go off track quite a bit, but that's what it's about. It's your stream. We're here to sort of react and do what you want, guys. Do what you guys want to do. Sometimes it's just nice to have us playing in the background while we chat and ramble on about nothing, and sometimes you can get useful information and your questions answered.
No matter how much we may want to talk about a particular modeling technique, if somebody in the chat mentions a 1980s wrestler, we're going to just go back into memory lane, so it's just going to happen. So there you
go. Anyway, I think I shall go off now and try and Google some wrestling live from Worthington Town Hall.
I think we need to do a campaign to get Dickie Davis back into TV, because Dickie Davis was a legend.
A gosh darn
legend.
I remember they did the pools as well.
Yeah.
Everton.
Remember the teletype?
Yeah. Everton versus Wolverhampton. Match postponed. Pools panel. Home win.
And the guy's always like, you know, East 4, far 5. East 5, 4.
Yeah.
And if they had a 0, it's going to be like, nil.
Yeah.
Anyway, yes, we're going again, aren't we?
Yeah, we're going again. We're going off.
Mention Tomorrow's World. Just stop the stream quick.
Goodbye, everybody. Goodbye. Bye. We'll
be back next week.
We'll do it again. Bye, everyone. I'm going to press the stop button. Turn